Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits.
Not available in New York.
You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't be a smart aleck like that.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time every time.
On a cattle ranch, calves aren't only raised by their mother, they're raised by a community of farmers, ranchers, and veterinarians committed to giving them the healthiest, most comfortable life possible. Because for cattle farmers, ranchers, and the moms of those baby calves, animal welfare is the top priority. Together, we bring more. Beef, it's what's for dinner. Funded by beef farmers and ranchers. This message courtesy of the Arkansas Beef Council and Beef, it's what's for dinner.com.
Wave Rural Connect is excited to introduce our new 300 megabit internet service. Perfect for streaming, remote work, and homework for just $64.95 a month. Get no worries, cyber safe managed Wi-Fi for a total of $71.95. Order today at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. We're adding new services and expanding our areas for you. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
Now, you got to understand, when I go on vacation, I'm not going to give you any action shots. I mean, I'm not one of these guys that I get up in the morning and we're going to go out on the water, we're going to do this and that. I mean, we're going to have some big day. No, I'm not doing that.
What is an action shot?
Well, I mean, like, you know, if you wanted to have some sort of, some sort of shot of, what you and I do on vacation, I would be sitting and staring out at the water.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night, love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "What's heard on the Chuck and Bo Show?"
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
I got to tell you, it feels a little different being in the studio today after being away for a week. And almost like a new beginning, in a sense. I mean, basketball season's over. No more hotel rooms for a little while. It's nice to see your bright, shining faces this morning. Bart, you look good. Edward, too.
Likewise, Chuck.
Did you guys have a great weekend?
Yeah, I had a blast.
Bo is on his way back, is what it boils down to. None of us really know where Bo is. We just know that Bo's not here. And that actually this was it's not a surprise. But Bo will be back tomorrow. Bo's returning from San Francisco. You know, when I saw Bo, when Bo got out there Thursday, we were talking, and my first question was, I guess you're going to come back on Monday? And he goes, no, I'm coming back Sunday. I'll be in there Monday. And I'm thinking, that's a pretty ambitious plan right there. I mean, I've said things like that before, too, as you guys know. Oh, I'll be on. I'll be ready. Well. And then reality sets in. And but he's recovering and recuperating today, and good to be back. And sorry the basketball season's over, at least for the Razorbacks. But baseball had a good week, and we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. Final Four is set. We got two SEC teams ready to go on Saturday. We'll have Florida going up against Auburn, and then Duke and Houston. I don't know about you guys, but I knew Houston was in trouble I mean, 5 minutes into the ball game, you could
Tennessee.
Tennessee. I knew Tennessee was in trouble 5 minutes into the ball game, that Houston was going to win that game.
Just Tennessee could not make a shot. Literally could not make a shot. It didn't matter what distance it was from. They could not make a shot. And Houston's just really good. And Kelvin Sampson's done an incredible job there. This is what now his second Final Four at Houston, second in the past, 4 or 5 years. He's done an incredible job.
Can they beat Duke?
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
You think so?
Sure.
Man,
yeah.
Duke looks really good right now. Duke looks really good right now. You look at Duke, you look at Houston, the only really great teams in their conference, but they are great teams. That'll be a good game. It's going to be the second game. Florida and Auburn will play the first game at 5:10. Who you like in that one?
I got to stick with Florida. I picked them to win the national
Me
title,
too.
so I got to.
How's your bracket?
Interesting you should bring that up,
Yeah.
Chuck.
It's falling.
How is Bo's in my bracket?
That's a good question. I can look that up.
Yeah. How's yours, though?
I had the entire Elite Eight, all 8 teams.
Yeah.
Had them right, and then picked one of the 4 games correctly.
Wow.
But
Who'd you have? You had Florida.
I still have Florida.
All right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. What about you, Edward?
I've got Auburn and Houston left, and I've got those two in the championship. So if that happens and Houston wins, I'll be in good shape. But right now, it's terrible. But we got 3 games to go.
Well, I had Florida winning it all.
Okay.
And
I got Houston.
I had. I will admit, I thought going into the tournament, Alabama would get to the Final Four, and they didn't.
Yeah,
obviously.
I did too.
Hey, I'm going to say this: if jacking up 3-pointers, if that gets you to the championship game, Tennessee and Alabama would be playing for all the marbles on a week from tonight. Alabama, and I know what the numbers say, or at least I know what they say. But that was frustrating for me to watch. I was frustrated watching Alabama play because it's like you got all this talent out there. I mean, in abundance. They got it all.
Sure.
And, man, I just think if maybe they played the game a little bit different way, they'd have won. I mean, I hate to say that. I'm not a coach. But
well, I mean, look, it's the old basketball saying: you live by the 3, you die by the 3, and it's just so true. And if you don't have the ability to go inside and get a bucket, which Alabama did not against Duke's size and athleticism, it's always going to get you beat. It's always going to get you beat at some point. You're not going to be able to win a championship playing like that.
So tell me the truth. Did you guys enjoy watching Texas Tech blow that lead? Did you guys enjoy watching that?
They got what they deserved.
I did. I enjoy. I'm like you. I think they got exactly what
they deserved. They didn't deserve to be there.
It was. I mean, it looked like they had that game won. I mean, it really did. Kind of like it looked like Arkansas had them beat. And things. Man, Walter Clayton Jr.
Whew.
I mean, that guy, I was thinking when Alabama was playing yesterday, in fact, I was texting a friend, Alabama needs Sears to do what Walter Clayton Jr. did for Florida. Florida and Auburn and Alabama, they'll get a little, they get a little out of control sometimes. Yeah. I mean, they start jacking up threes, running up and down the floor, and, I mean, you never really know what's going to happen. But Clayton brings them back to center. I mean, yeah. Clayton, when you need a great possession, I mean, I'm not necessarily talking about possessions in which he scores. When you need a great possession, he just does it.
Yeah.
Sears is not that guy. Sears is a great player, but he's not Walter Clayton Jr. He can't make everything okay the way he can. And that's the reason I picked him at the start of the tournament, and that's the reason even though they have points where they drift, he's the guy that makes them great.
Yeah, there's no question. Whether it's a big shot or just kind of slowing everything down and running the offense, calling out a play, getting them an easy bucket. He's the guy. And when it comes to March, I mean, what do you always say? You win in March with great upperclassmen guard play, And that's what Florida has, and that's why I still think they're going to win the title.
I'm glad Kentucky lost too.
Yeah.
I'm glad Kentucky lost. I mean, that would have, that wouldn't have been good if Kentucky had gone to the Elite Eight. They'd have been all over everybody. And they got to celebrate Cal getting beat for a day, and then it was their own deal. And but I found myself rooting for all of the SEC teams except Kentucky. I just can't root for them. I was pulling for the other SEC teams.
They've made it impossible to root for them.
And Alabama did this in football for a while, but Alabama was like the best team in the country. I mean, they really had the right to do it. If a fan base has the right to act that way, Alabama had it. I mean, Kentucky, come on. There's nothing wrong with their season. I mean, they had a fine year. Yeah. Nothing wrong with being in the Sweet 16. It's a successful season when you make it to the Sweet 16. But maybe it doesn't warrant all the stuff that they say. All right, I want to talk about baseball today too. Hogs swept Vanderbilt over the weekend. First time they've swept there since 1994. This was DVH when it was over.
Great win, have an opportunity to sweep a team like Vanderbilt on the road, and we found a way to do it. Kept the game close. We kept thinking if we can just keep this thing close, we can get them late. I don't say I savor it. I just appreciate the effort from the players, and it was a really good win. Sweeps are hard to get. It doesn't matter if you're playing the best team in the league or the team with the worst record. And you look at some of the teams that have bad records in our league, they're really talented, and they're going through a rough time. So I don't get too high or low. I just enjoy it for a few hours, and then I'll move on to the next game, honestly.
8-1 in the league. 8 straight league wins now. Go to North Little Rock tomorrow night. I'm sure it'll be, crazy at Dickey Stevens Park. It always is. And then they've got Missouri coming up this weekend. You look at the league right now. There's a pretty big discrepancy between the top and the bottom.
There really is.
I mean, you got it is top loaded, not much of a middle, and then guys at the bottom. Dave's right. I mean, there's teams at the bottom of the standings right now in the SEC that are good.
Texas A&M's 1-8.
Yeah, I'm not sure Texas A&M is one of those good teams. I don't know.
Preseason number one.
I know
they're
that.
1-8.
They're below 500 overall.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll have a team that just gets in league play, and they're good. Their non-conference record shows they're good. They just lose a lot of close games.
South Carolina, Mississippi State.
Maybe
probably,
so. Yeah. Mississippi State, but I'm not sure that Florida snake bit. I'm not sure that A&M's really good. Something obviously they've got a new regime in there and all that, but something's not right there because it's not just a weekend issue with them. They're losing a lot of midweek games. But the Razorbacks, I watched it on the iPad yesterday as I was watching the basketball games. First off, they've got better players than a lot of the teams they're playing. And I'm not saying the other teams don't have good players. They do. Arkansas's players are a cut above right now. I mean, and they're playing like it. I don't keep up with it as much as I once did. And so I'm probably and certainly not the greatest authority on it. But every time I watch them play, I think they're going to win. Without fail, every time I watch them play, I think they're going to win.
It's a fun feeling to have, isn't it? Like, baseball is an odd sport, Chuck, and you can speak to that as well as anybody just on the things that you've seen from your time calling games. And to be able to consistently go out and perform at a high level in this league is something that shouldn't be taken for granted. Like, it's really impressive. And to go into every game thinking, you're the better team and you're going to have a chance to win, and then for them to go out and actually do it, man, it makes for a fun season. It makes for a real fun season.
All right, leftover thoughts on basketball today. We're going to get into that. What was your defining moment of this basketball season? The moment that stands out above all the others for you? For me, it's a pretty easy answer, the Kentucky game in Lexington. Arkansas, watching Cal walk out, just feeling the anticipation in Lexington before it happened. The image I'll always remember for this season is all the Kentucky fans filing out of the arena.
Goodbye. They're leaving. They're leaving. They're mass exodus.
They're heading for the exits. Can you believe it?
Goodbye.
Z talking trash. I mean, he was like turning around. I mean, he wasn't saying that to me.
He was turning around.
He was turning
They're
around.
leaving.
Yeah, I mean, he was saying that.
They're leaving. They're mass exodus.
That was my favorite moment of the season. I will admit. That was my favorite moment. All right, 877-377-6963. That's the number that'll get you into the program at Chuck and Bo Show on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. National Tater Day. And we're back with more in just a moment.
Great.
If I didn't have you and Bart and Edward to lean on, where would I be? And I think about other people that don't have that.
That's what we do. We lift each other up.
Yeah.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I'm Dr. Scotty Bolding, a native Arkansan oral and maxillofacial surgeon. One of my goals is to make Arkansans healthier.
If you have sleep disorder breathing, it's important to treat it properly. The standard treatment's a breathing machine called CPAP. It helps you breathe during the night. However, there are other options thanks to some truly innovative and proven technologies.
Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today. By correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus.
Dr. Bolding at Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine works carefully with your sleep physician, determines where the underlying obstruction may be, and provides surgical solutions that open the airway, allowing you to breathe better.
Hey, give us a call, 479-755-3000, or log on to our website, precedent.com, Precedent. We'd love to help.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
Bo, when your show went off a few years ago, it was like I've been lost ever since then. And I just really appreciate your show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Attention business owners, are you overpaying for your website, dropping thousands up front and shelling out more than $95 a month? Stop the madness! With Modular Orange, you get a custom-built, fully managed website for just $95 a month. No hidden fees, no headaches. They write it, build it, launch it, update it, and secure it so you can focus on your business. Ditch the overpriced hassle and go simple. Visit modularorange.com today. That's modularorange.com.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drugstore at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drugstore has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drugstore, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
Spring has arrived, bringing warmer days, road trips, and unpredictable spring showers. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we'll make sure your vehicle is ready for all your spring adventures. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your ride for whatever the season brings. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart, we keep America rolling.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I would venture to bet 3 out of every 4 head coaches are absolutely worthless around the house. They can't do anything. Your commode messes up, call the guy. They hadn't mowed a yard in 15 years.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, taxes are hard, but filing with H&R Block is easy. Walk in, make an appointment, get 100% accuracy and your max refund guaranteed. Put 70 years of tax expertise to work for you at H&R Block. Sandman wins the Arkansas Derby. Did you have any action on that as we head to the Chevy Fayetteville Situation Room? Have any action on that, Bart?
I did.
Did
yes.
you? Did you win?
I did. Yes.
Really?
I sure did.
All right. How much did you put in your pocket?
Enough.
Yeah. Well, good for you.
Little superfecta.
What was the? You won the superfecta on the Arkansas Derby.
That's right.
Wow. That's big.
Well,
that's.
Put a feather in my cap.
I did not have the winner. Just for the record, I did not. And but I know we're going to be at Oaklawn on Friday.
That's right.
Chuck and
Looking
Bo
forward
Show's
to it.
going on the road, and this is not going to be one of those lobby of the hotel kind of deals. This is going to be a full-blown show, and we're looking forward to it. So we'll be there Friday at what's the sports bar? What's the name of the sports bar?
Mainline.
Mainline Sports Bar. We'll be there on Friday morning, and we're looking forward to that. And then a fun afternoon, a day at the races, whatever Bart says to bet. That's what we're going with. Softball team swept Kentucky over the weekend. Were you there, Bart?
I was there for all 3 games, actually.
Were
Chuck.
you really?
Yeah.
Do you have like is it like a group of people, same group of folks you sit with every time?
Yeah.
Do you grill? Do you do that stuff?
We did on Saturday, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we had a whole tailgate, a couple of birthdays to celebrate, and
wow,
it was a great time.
What'd you do this weekend, Edward? Did you go to any games?
We were busy.
Yeah.
We did some family stuff.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, one of
It was
those
good.
Saturdays and Sundays where you get things done. You
Got
had one
things
of those
done.
gang,
Yeah, it was restful.
I
though.
hate
It was
weekends
good.
like that. But, yeah, we got a lot of things done. That's why I'm so tired this morning. Cooler this morning. It's going to warm up during the day, but it's not going to be as warm today as it's been the past few days. I don't know what happened yesterday. Somewhere late morning. I mean, I was up. It was nice. Everything was great. Had the sliding door open, the screen. I mean, everything was awesome. I take a nap. I know it's going to shock you. And I wake up, and it's like freezing cold.
It's cold.
Cold front came through.
I don't know what
hard,
happened, but everything changed, and it's going to be a little bit. It's going to be a little bit cooler today, but it's going to warm up. I guess is the.
Lot of rain coming this week.
Yeah, it's going to be wet. It's going to be
Lot of
wet
rain.
throughout the week. That's the. That's the story. Hey, this was Cal. Left over from, I want to talk basketball for a minute. This is left over from Cal, just talking about the season. This was after the ball game on Thursday night.
But I'm going to say it again for everybody. For me, this was as rewarding a year, and I feel like crap right now. But this was as rewarding a year as I've had in all my years. Now, I've had teams that were better and finished better and national champions and all that stuff. This was a different reward. And for me as a coach, we had to adjust and learn, and it was an experience for me to learn. Like, okay, How do I hold them accountable but not bury them? How do I lift them up yet challenge them? How do I make them uncomfortable so they can learn to be comfortable in those situations? That was an interesting path for me and my staff was outstanding. Never wavered, never splintered, nothing. They stayed the course. They worked with kids. They met them, watched tape with them, talked to them, built them up. But they were good kids.
Let's put a bow on this. I guess we'll do that some as we move through the week. John Calipari's first year. I mean, lots happened since he was introduced as the Razorback head coach. We go through the season. I mean, there's the game in New York. There's there were some really – there's a game in Kansas City. Then you get into conference play and the Kentucky game and all the things that happened down the stretch. Bart, did it go the way you thought it would, even though I know that's a loaded question? I mean, did it resemble anything that you thought would happen when the season began?
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that's what most people are going to say.
I think the end result, sure. Look, anytime you bring in a whole new roster, I expected there would be some bumps along the way as these guys kind of got used to playing with each other and feeling each other's games out and that sort of thing. But never saw an 0-5 start to the SEC. Never saw it taking so long for some guys to get healthy and playing the way they're capable of playing. Never really saw the struggle, but I think the struggle that this team went through at the end is what made them better and kind of gave them a fighting chance to not only make the NCAA tournament, but then win games in the NCAA tournament, get to the Sweet 16, have a great chance to make it to the Elite Eight, and who would have known from there? But no, it didn't resemble anything that I thought it would at the start of the year.
Can we all agree that 14 losses will be the most in the John Calipari era at Arkansas? Can we all agree on that?
I would guess that would be the case.
What about you, Edward?
That's probably a good line.
I'll
go under.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I think to say it was the worst season makes it sound like it was awful, because it wasn't. But this will be the worst season.
The bar has been set.
Yeah, and this is going to be an interesting week. It's going to be an interesting 10 days, 2 weeks. I'm not saying everything's going to happen immediately, but Cal talked about after the game about how the time is coming now where you got to sit down with some guys and people have to make decisions on what they're going to do, who's coming back. Obviously, they've signed some good players, and they're not done. And the portal activity is, I'm sure, pretty fierce right now. I do wonder what the roster is going to look like next year. I think we all wonder that. We've gotten a pretty good indication. There's a couple that, you wonder what's going to happen with them. Are they going to go? Are they going to come back? The guys that are already out there in the portal, they've got a pretty good idea, I'm certain, about what their roster is going to look like. I'm not saying they have it finalized, and sometimes you don't necessarily know the individual, but you've got the plan. I mean, you need a player to play here. You need this guy. You need a post. You need, whatever the position is. And there's some players to pick from. When you look at that transfer portal out there, whether it's a big guy, whether it's a guard, I mean, there's a bunch of guys out there. And it'll be interesting to see what path they take in that regard. Is it a big guy? Is it a scorer? Is it both? Might be both. Might be the same guy. Who knows? But all that, I know all that's going to be people are paying attention. In fact, I was reading some of the articles yesterday, and it's amazing how quickly we turn the page. But, for so many, the question now is what's next? And my thought would be, the short answer would be the best days are what's next. And I'm anxious to see what this roster looks like going into next season.
Yeah, they're going to have spots to play with. You've got guys whose eligibility is expired. You've got guys who are definitely, we think at least going to the draft. You would expect a guy like Boogie to have his name in the draft and hear his name called on draft night. They've got freshmen coming in. They'll have room to play in the transfer portal because there are 2 more scholarships now. There are 15 scholarships for men's college basketball now as opposed to 13. So you can bring in more guys. I would expect Arkansas and Coach Cal and their staff to look at bringing in some more size because, they're going to need it. Jonas Adu, his eligibility is gone. No idea what Trevin or Big Z are going to do at this point, but this is a roster that needs some size. We've seen what Duke's big man has meant in the tournament, what Janai Broome has done, what Florida's big men have done. You got to have some size now. You've got to have some guys who are rim protectors, who can really rebound the ball and who you can go inside to and get an easy bucket. So I would expect that would be a heavy area of focus in the portal, and then best available players, right? Get the most talented guys you can get who fit what you're trying to do and what you're trying to build.
Big story of the weekend, though. The Cardinals are 3-0. Did you guys see that?
How about that?
Did you guys see that? Swept the Twins. I mean, they're white hot. We're right out of the gate, and they're white hot.
162-0, baby.
I know. 877-377-6963. This is the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All right, well, congratulations, Coach.
I made some good calls today.
You sure did. You sure did.
If you haven't tried a flight by Yuengling, you're missing out on the great taste of Yuengling that is a light beer. It's the next generation of light beer. Get it on draft, in the can, the new skinny cans, and now the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Perfect for any occasion. It's just 95 calories, and you're still enjoying a Yuengling. Take your beer game to new heights with Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer.
You know the sound, you know the place, and you know the time of year that means live racing at Oaklawn is coming. If your Oaklawn is playing favorites, letting it ride on long shots, or just soaking up the vibes of race day, it's time to make your plans and discover your Oaklawn. Live racing starts Friday, December 6th. Reserve seats, rooms in our hotel, or a spot in your favorite Oaklawn restaurant at oaklawn.com.
This is my Oaklawn.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And I listen in every day. Everybody know that. I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
Good.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, it's Matt Jones. Join me, Phil, and Dr. Charles Liggett every Monday at 12:15 for my favorite segment, 3 Up, 3 Down.
Brent Iredale had 8 RBIs, and that's the most since '99 when my good buddy Rodney Nye had 8 RBIs.
I'm a patient there, and you can be too. 3 Up, 3 Down is presented by River Valley Smile Center. Visit rivervalleysmiles.com or give them a call at 479-646-0706. That's River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
It's Brad and Stephanie here, owners at Mosquito Joe. Stephanie, lots of people ask us how we ever got involved in Mosquito Joe. Tell them what you told me years ago when we first started.
I said if you figured out a way to keep the mosquitoes out of our yard without coating ourselves and kids with bug spray, then sign me up. And if this works, we have to share this with our friends and neighbors.
To this day, that's the mission of Mosquito Joe. It's our passion to make outside fun again for all Arkansans. Whatever's bugging you outside, we've got the solution.
Visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Need a little extra cash? Go see Rusty at Golden Gym Pond, 310 West Center in Greenwood. Get the money you need with loans on jewelry, guns, tools, and electronics. If you're looking for a gift, they have a large selection of jewelry to choose from, and Rusty can take care of all jewelry repair. Stop by Golden Gym Pond today, 310 West Center in Greenwood, or call 996-2792. Open 9 to 5:30 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 9 to 3 on Wednesday. Golden Gym Pond.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Forsgren is hiring immediately. Forsgren Incorporated, a heritage company and premier employer, is now hiring equipment operators, pipe layers, concrete finishers, and laborers. Have experience in any of these areas? Apply now at goforsgren.com. Don't delay. Forsgren is hiring now at goforsgren.com. Don't miss your opportunity to join the Forsgren legacy. Forsgren has immediate openings for equipment operators, pipe layers, concrete finishers, and laborers. Apply now at goforsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Well-rested Chuck is the best kind of Chuck.
I will be good tonight. Stay in. You'll get the best version of me tomorrow, I promise.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Bo will be well-rested tomorrow. He is resting today and recuperating from the trip to San Francisco. Now, when I'm not here, does Bo trash me? Do you guys trash me when I'm not here? I'm trying to decide if we should trash Bo today.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not that I really have that much to say, but Bo is he's the heart and soul behind the Chuck and Bo Show, that's for sure. But I knew on Thursday when he said, "Yeah, I'll be back Monday morning," in the back of my mind, I'm thinking that's probably not going to happen. And I didn't say it out loud, but look, when I got out there Monday night, and I know how this works. You go to a city, and I've been there a few times. We've played ball out there, basketball and baseball. I think I've been to San Francisco like 6 times over the years just for ball trips. And I don't know how many times Bo's been out there. It might have been their first trip. I don't know, his first trip. And but he was all fired up when he got there. I mean, he was ripping and roaring and ready to go, just like everybody else is when they arrive in a new place. And but I knew that by the time Sunday rolled around, if they stuck around for the weekend, and I figured they would, I knew by the time they got back that it would be tough.
They wound up dead.
Hit that again.
Yeah.
They wound up dead.
Well, they didn't. I don't think they wound up dead. Is that what's his name?
Keith Morrison.
Yeah. Keith Morrison.
Our guy.
Yeah. But I knew when he said that it probably wasn't going to happen. But he'll be back tomorrow, and we will obviously look forward to his return. Hey, if you want a clean ride, Splash Car Wash is what you need to remember. Locally owned and operated. We like promoting Arkansas businesses on the Chuck and Bo Show, and that's one of the things we like about Splash Car Wash. We also like the fact that you can get a free car wash right now. You can text Splash Arkansas to 22322. That's Splash Arkansas at 22322. They've got a great 3-month price lock. We're getting into car washing season now. 3 months of unlimited best washes locked in at a single wash pricing each month. In other words, you pay for one, you get the rest of the month. That's a pretty good deal for 3 months. So that's the story at Splash Car Wash. Again, get a free car wash by texting 22322. Final Four is set. Florida and Auburn. They're going to play the early game on Saturday in San Antonio, and then Duke and Houston will play the late game. Odds to win it all. Duke minus 110, Florida plus 165, Auburn plus 290, Houston plus 400.
Value.
What's the best value bet there? Is it Houston?
It's Houston.
You all over that one, Edward? If you were a betting man.
I'm not a betting man.
Yeah, I know that.
I've got them in my bracket.
If you were, that's where you would go. What about you, Bart?
Yeah, I mean, Houston's the best value. I'm still getting plus money on Florida, though. I think Florida's going to win the national title. That's where I would go.
Duke has become the fashionable pick.
They have.
I mean, they have become the fashionable
really
pick.
Good. They're really
Were they
good.
the favorite at the start? I don't recall.
I don't know if they were the favorite, but they were the most picked on
Were they?
ESPN's tournament
Yeah.
challenge.
All right.
I know that.
I think they were.
Odds.
I think they were the favorite.
It was
yeah.
them or Auburn to start. It was
Yeah.
pretty close between those two.
Now, Auburn's plus 290. Of the 3 teams in the Final Four,
that's not bad.
Auburn's well, I mean, what I mean is for the team that's been ranked number 1 and the team that won the best conference in the country, Florida's moved ahead of them in terms of the SEC pecking order. I just wonder what's changed people's minds. Do you think about Auburn as we've gone through the tournament?
That's a good question, Chuck. I think I'm
full of them.
Yeah, well, I want to give you your due as often as I can. It's an Auburn team that kind of didn't play super great down the stretch of the regular season, then got beat in the conference tournament. Didn't play a really inspired game against Ole Miss, and then lost to Tennessee. They lost their last 2 games of the regular season. There are just some cracks that were starting to show with them, I think. They've obviously, they're obviously playing well again and are as capable of anybody of winning the national title. So I certainly wouldn't rule them out. I do, however, think Florida's not a great matchup for them. They only played once this year. Florida did win that game 90-81 at Auburn. So I mean, look, we'll see how it goes. But Auburn with Janai Broome, assuming he's good to go and everything's right with him, look, they can win it all. They certainly can.
Was the SEC as good as advertised?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes.
Right, hey, we got that soundbite from Bruce Pearl. I mean, he was screaming and yelling about
SEC. Evaluation Sunday.
Knucklehead.
I mean, it was almost like they'd gotten a directive from the conference. Because, I mean, Todd Golden kind of did the same thing when Florida clinched their spot in the Final
We're going to
Four.
the Final Four where there are 4 1 seats. And I think the 4 teams that are advanced, I think they're the 4 best teams in the country. That doesn't obviously always happen.
See, I agree with that. I mean, it's the first time all number 1s have made it since 2008. But when
Just the second time ever.
It's the only
second
time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. But when you look at the teams, I mean, Tennessee's not among the best 4. Alabama's not. I mean, these are clearly, in my mind anyway, the 4 best teams in the tournament.
Yeah, and they've they have risen to that level. You think about Houston and just kind of their route to the Final Four and who all they had to play. They had to play Gonzaga in the second round, a really, really good Gonzaga team that was drastically underseeded. They had to play Purdue. They had to play Tennessee. Like they have gone through a gauntlet, and they've risen to the occasion every single time. Auburn has done much of the same. I mean, they had to play a red-hot Creighton team, a red-hot Michigan team, and a really, really good Michigan State team. Duke just powered through everybody they played. The only close game they had was against Arizona. They won that game by 7. And then Florida just finds ways to win with Walter Clayton III. They just find ways to win and make timely plays and make big shots. These are the 4 best teams in the country, and as a basketball fan, you can't ask for much more than that.
All right, Edwards got Houston. Who you got in that game? You going with Duke or Houston?
I think Duke. I think Duke's hard to beat right now.
I do too. I mean, but if there's a team out there that could beat them, it's Houston. I mean,
yeah, I would agree with that. I think the thing with Duke is that they've had Tyrese Proctor playing out of his mind. Like, everybody talks about Cooper Flagg, everybody talks about Con Knipple. Proctor is the guy who has been playing out of his mind, playing his best basketball of his career. If Houston can kind of find a way to rein him in a little bit, then that's what's going to give them a chance to win that game.
Houston has lost twice since Thanksgiving. That's it.
Is that right? Who beat them?
They lost February 1st by 1 to Texas Tech.
Wow.
And then the last time they lost before that was November 30th at San Diego State.
Wow. That's pretty good.
And they've beaten a lot of good teams since then too.
And hey, as I said a little bit earlier, I'll give him credit. 5 minutes into the game, you knew Tennessee was beat.
They dominated.
You just knew they wouldn't be able to score. They were jacking up threes. Lanier, very first shot of the game, shoots an air ball. And it's like, uh-oh. And, I mean, sometimes I'm not saying the first shot of the game tells the story, but it's like, wow. I mean, that was nowhere close. And that wasn't the last air ball they shot. And that one, he just missed. He just short-armed it. The others, I'll give Houston a lot of the credit for. But you could just tell that there was no way Tennessee was going to win that game. 877-377-6963. My man Cecil's on the line. Cecil, you are on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, fellas. Good morning.
How's it going?
Oh, man, I'm all right. I finally got over the hump on us losing. But I've been watching a lot of basketball, putting in a lot of work, a lot of basketball. And, I love y'all show, man. Boy, you awesome, too, dude. And I just like listening to it. It's a really good show. I get a lot out of it. And Duke is really good, man. My God. Houston's good. I don't think Auburn's gonna make it, though. I mean, that's just my opinion. But Duke is good. And, boy, you're definitely right about the best players on Duke's team, man. I was wondering, because I'm very concerned about our team. I can say this: we definitely left on a really good note, even though we lost. It's a lot of, hey, what about this? What about that? Ooh, I can't wait till next season, because now I have Justin is from Fort Smith. He coaches down there at Sam Houston State. I was actually going to call him and just ask him about. Are we getting the player from Sam Houston State?
I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of reading the same stuff you are. And it sounds like they're in the mix, or it sounds like they're in the hunt anyway.
Okay. So now we did sign the 6'2" guard. What's his name? I think we signed him.
Are you talking about the high school kids they signed?
Yes.
Yeah. They've signed
We signed one so far?
Well, no,
they've signed 3 high schoolers.
They've signed 3 high schoolers. That counts the kid in Springdale and the 2 that are in the top 5. They're still on some others, but
yeah. Now, what about Nate?
Don't know yet. Says he's going to announce before or pretty soon.
Ooh, I can't wait for that. I'm really hoping we get him. But anyway, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna jump off because I got to get my day going. But Coach, I mean, we didn't have the season. Well, it's kind of a toss-up because everybody know how we started. But then we ended really well, but we lost too. But it's still, it's like an adventure. Like, oh man, I can't wait, and I really can't wait. Football spring season's coming up. Football's coming up. I'm just excited. Go Hogs, go! Y'all have a blessed day.
All right, Cecil, thank you. Quick break. This is the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Can we just say, for all of you who get up early in the morning and you work so hard, man, we're glad you're here. We just really appreciate all the work you do to make Arkansas better.
You talking to me?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, it's Bo Mattingly, and McDonald Eye Associates is my one-stop for any vision need. The progressives they have me in are a game changer, and my new sunglasses are going to be great for baseball season. McDonald Eye was the first practice in the state to perform LASIK, and they have the most experience. They also have the new vision correction options for all ages, including cataract and clear lens replacement to see your best from all distances. For your best vision, McDonald Eye is the place to go.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but at Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric, we're here to help lighten the load. This new year, enjoy no payments and no interest on all home repairs and replacements. Whether it's fixing that stubborn plumbing issue, replacing an aging heating and air system, or upgrading your electrical, our Paschal pros are here to keep your home running smoothly and stress-free. Visit gopaschal.com today to schedule your service. Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric. Professional people, professional service. See dealer for details with approved credit. Restrictions apply.
Ready or not, it is tax season. But luckily, H&R Block is here. Whether you need expert help with your taxes or simply have a question or two, your neighborhood H&R Block is here for you. Taxes are hard, but filing with H&R Block is easy. Walk in or make an appointment and get 100% accuracy and your max refund guaranteed. Put 70 years of tax expertise to work for you. Get those taxes squared away today at H&R Block.
Did you know Chevy of Fayetteville is the #1 volume dealer in Northwest Arkansas? That means nobody sells more cars, trucks, or SUVs than Chevy of Fayetteville. They've been a part of our community for over 25 years. They're supporters of our local schools and the Razorbacks. And they're the best after the sale. An award-winning service and parts department, a waiting area, complimentary loaners. So go see Chris Mark in Denver and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville, inside the Fayetteville Auto Park.
At the Stonebreaker Hotel, we believe in the art of gathering, whether over a thoughtfully prepared meal or a quiet moment on Markham Hill. Start your day with breakfast classics from the all-day menu, served from 7:30 to 1. Savor shareable bites from the bar and lounge menu until 10. And let the dinner menu from 5 to 9 bring familiar flavors with a fresh twist. And for a weekend well spent, how about brunch? Rooted in connection, designed for comfort. Learn more at stonebreakerhotel.com.
I always enjoy talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
Man, can you imagine if we all lived together, if we just walked into the living room at like 6 a.m. and just started talking each other's heads off? There's no good morning. I can't have my first cup of
somebody
coffee.
would get shot.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Summer's coming.
I'm already ready for summer. I'm ready for summer.
It's great. We're about to get Chuck off the road.
Chuck's looking forward to that.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I do wish I was heading to San Antonio. It's been a long time. I am envious of the people who are getting to go and watch their team play this weekend. I screwed up the last segment. You know, Bo's not here, and he's the quarterback on this stuff. I just flat out screwed it up. I went too long is the bottom line. And so this is going to be a very, very quick segment, and then we'll reconvene after the top of the hour. Bo's gone. He'll be back tomorrow. He's I actually don't know if Bo's gone or not, but I know that he's not here, and he'll be back with us tomorrow. Hey, are you an AC tech, plumber, or electrician? Then listen up. Pascal is hiring, and they want you to join their team. This is a big event this week. If you're an AC tech, plumber, or electrician, Thursday, April 3rd, 3 to 7, Pascal's Technician Hiring Event. Your chance to work for the best home service contractor in Arkansas, tour their state-of-the-art facility, meet directly with department managers, even walk away with an on-the-spot job offer. If you are ready to take your career to the next level, don't miss this opportunity. Join Pascal Thursday, April 3rd, 3 to 7, 280 North Maestri Road in Springdale. 280 North Maestri Road in Springdale. Learn more at gopascal.com. That's gopascal.com. All right, new hour coming up. 877-377-6963. This is the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
The doors are open, and it's a new era of elegance. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry has unveiled its stunningly redesigned 8,500 square foot showroom for an unmatched luxury experience. There's breathtaking jewelry, of course, expert service, and private viewing rooms designed for comfort. And they've got an in-house cafe with handcrafted coffee to go along with a special coffee table book celebrating Arkansas's heritage, because it's more than jewelry. It's your story at Blakeman's Fine Jewelry.
We care a lot about supporting Arkansas businesses here on the Chuck and Bo Show, and we both like keeping our rides looking good. Splash Car Wash just became our new neighbors here in Fayetteville. They're a locally owned Arkansas business, and they've been serving the state since 1989. They're good folks, and you can get a free car wash by texting Splash Arkansas to 22322. That's Splash Arkansas to 22322.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweatnum Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to SweatnumCosmetic.com and click on the Sweatnum Edge. Why don't you just kind of style it up a little bit at the game? Let's get your drip going.
Hey, I got a lot more drip than you think.
Chuck and Bo Show.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny skies, it'll be a cool day, a high low 60s across the north, near 70 south. Clear skies, low to mid 40s overnight, and then tomorrow, sunny skies, high temperatures warming up in the low to mid 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits.
Save up to $5,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover, for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith, or online at harryrobinson.com.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
You sound like a participation trophy, Dad.
Hey, this is Dr. Cole Johnson at River Valley Smile Center. You hear my partner, Dr. Charles Liggett, at 12:15 on halftime every Monday. Dr. Liggett and I have worked at River Valley Smile Center together for 11 years now. Like the Hogs, we have a great team. Do you have a unique dental procedure, a complex dental problem, or are you just nervous about dental work? Come see me for sedation dentistry, implants, implant-supported dentures, as well as cosmetic dentistry. We are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith at the River Valley Smile Center. Check us out online at rivervalleysmiles.com or call 479-646-0706.
For years, Mosquito Joe has been the go-to service for mosquitoes, ticks, and fleas all across Arkansas. Making outside fun again for Arkansans is our passion. But over the past few years, there's been an increasing problem outside.
Fire ants.
Bingo. They're everywhere now. And if you've ever gotten to a pile of them, and I'm sure you have, you immediately know.
Outside is not fun.
Yep. That's why Mosquito Joe is now providing fire ant control. Just one more way Mosquito Joe makes outside fun again.
Visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
My favorite's when we're going to break, and we're not there yet, but I'm talking, and Chuck knows we're going to break, and he just disengages, sits back from his mic, takes his headset off, and I'm still talking.
Yeah, I need to stop doing that.
And he's on his phone.
That's not true. That is not true.
Like, I know you're rapping. I know you're about to land this plane, and I didn't care about your point to begin with, but I wish you to hurry up.
Hey, listen.
I'm indicative of the entire audience right now, Bo. Shut up.
I got to quit doing that.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to
the show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "What's heard on the Chuck and Bo Show?"
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still happy.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Well, it's a new week. And here we go on a Monday. A little bit cooler today. It's going to rain during the week. and we carry on. We're glad you're here as we move into the 7 o'clock hour on the Chuck and Bo Show. Bo is not with us today. Bo is recovering from a trip to San Francisco. You guys get on me about how I never do anything at night. Well, obviously, Bo had a weekend to remember. And he'll be back with us tomorrow. He's not well rested is what it boils down to. And I knew when he said he was going to be in here Monday, it's never going to happen. It's just too much. I mean, look, when you come back from the West Coast, it's tough for the first couple of days. I mean, gosh, Saturday, I don't even think I left the house. And but Bo's going to be back tomorrow. We're glad you're here. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Final Four set. Razorback baseball team swept Vanderbilt over the weekend. Softball team swept Kentucky at Bogle Park. And I wish I was going to San Antonio. I got to be honest.
Yeah.
I know the guys at Auburn, know the guys at Florida, and I'm a little bit envious that they're getting to go. I got to admit, I was so tired on Friday morning. I'm going to be honest. It was 4 o'clock in the morning in the Pacific time zone. I was so tired. I don't really know that my thoughts were collected, but I was sad to see it end. I really, the way they caught fire, there was a little magic going on, and that's what makes sports fun. It's when you get the magic going. And I hated to see it end, but was proud of the way, it ended. I guess, the run that got them as far. I don't know. What'd you guys think? What are you guys feeling today about basketball season being over?
I mean, disappointed that it's over, but mostly because you were just right there, a bucket away, a free throw away from being in the Elite Eight, and then once you get there, you never are you telling me that Arkansas couldn't have beaten Florida? Arkansas was playing at that point when their season ended as well as anybody in the country. And if you're telling me that they couldn't have beaten Florida, you're crazy, because they could have. And so I think that's where the disappointment lies for me is like, man, I would have liked to see how this ended, how this played out if that Texas Tech game goes a little differently.
Does it make me a sore loser to say I was glad that Texas Tech lost the way they did?
No.
And that I was happy that the Kentucky fans were sad? I mean,
that's totally understandable.
I just have to admit, as we got through Saturday and yesterday, I was taking joy in other people's pain. That's a terrible thing to say.
It's a coping mechanism.
It's a terrible thing to say. But that was my coping mechanism over the weekend.
Look, Chuck, I think going through this basketball season has made me realize one thing in particular, and that's that Kentucky basketball fans might be the most unlikable fan base in the country.
Yeah, they're in the running.
Exodus.
They're heading for the exits. Can you believe it?
Goodbye.
Just
that was the defining moment of the season for me, by the way.
Just mind your business. Shut up. Worry about your team. Stop looking over your shoulder. Move on, okay? You've had a year now. Guess what? You lost in the Sweet 16 too. Goodbye. Go back to Big Blue Nation. Worry about Mark Pope and what your team's going to look like next year. Just shut up.
Play that thing again.
Shut up.
Play that whole thing again. This is from. Yeah.
They're leaving. They're leaving. They're mass exodus.
They're heading for the exits. Can you believe it?
Goodbye.
That was the end of the Kentucky game. That was Z actually taunting them, turning around. Yeah. He was actually waving.
That's amazing.
Turning around and looking.
I would expect nothing less.
At the and let me say this too. I've got no real feeling about Texas Tech. I mean, I have no strong feeling about them one way or the other. I didn't like them much Thursday night, but I got to admit, I enjoyed what happened to them. I mean, maybe this is where the sore loser part comes in. The Kentucky thing's completely understandable. You wouldn't be a red-blooded Razorback fan if you didn't take joy in that.
Right.
But it's the Texas Tech thing that I'll admit makes me seem like a sore loser, because I was like, see?
How's
now
it feel?
You know how it feels.
How's it feel?
How does it feel to blow a lead? I mean, karma. It's all coming back. They had them beat, just like we had them beat. But you play for 40 minutes, as the old cliche goes. And
They signed up for 40. Texas Tech didn't.
Well, I was no. That's exactly right. Baseball team swept Vanderbilt over the weekend. This was DVH.
Another great win. Have an opportunity to sweep a team like Vanderbilt on the road, and we found a way to do it. Kept the game close. We kept thinking if we can just keep this thing close, we can get them late. I don't say I savor it. I just appreciate the effort from the players, and it was a really good win. You know, sweeps are hard to get. It doesn't matter if you're playing the best team in the league or the team with the worst record. And you look at some of the teams that have bad records in our league, they're really talented and they're going through a rough time. So I don't get too high or low. I just enjoy it for a few hours and then I'll move on to the next game, honestly.
All right, we got that soundbite from Phil. We got that thing from Phil where they last out of the weekend. I always like to hear
Pitch. He struck him out swinging. The Razorbacks sweep the Vanderbilt Commodores in their own ballpark. 7-3 the final score. This one belongs to the Razorbacks. What a series. Their first sweep in Nashville in 31 years.
I am an old man because I remember that sweep like it was yesterday. There was a no-hitter in the middle of that sweep. Todd Abbott threw a no-hitter. They were talking about that. Now, I was reading that before the game yesterday, and I'm like, gosh, I remember that. I remember exactly when it happened. And but that was a big weekend for them. They are 8-1 in conference play right now, 26-3 overall. They're going to be ranked either first or second, I guess, when the rankings come out today. And they play in North Little Rock tomorrow night against Grambling. Is that right?
That's
Grambling. Right. And it's, the toughest ticket you're going to find in Arkansas this week. And then they'll be back home to take on Missouri on Friday night and Saturday night and Sunday night. They're going to play a baseball game right in the middle of the Final Four. There's going to be a lot of people paying attention to watching the baseball game in person with the Final Four on their phones. Or maybe the other way around.
Yeah.
I found myself yesterday watching the Final Four and watching the baseball game on my iPad. But they were behind yesterday, came back and won, and 8-1 in conference play. There's 3 or 4 of them, I think, that are tied at the top of the league right now.
There are 3.
Is that right? 3?
Yeah.
Who are they?
They are
Texas, I know.
Texas is 6-1.
Well, they're 8-1. They've not updated the standings. They are 8-1.
Georgia and Tennessee.
Okay, Georgia, Tennessee, Arkansas, and Texas are all 8-1 in the league. I was looking at those standings too, and Texas did sweep over the weekend. They've just
whatever reason.
Yeah, they've just not.
SEC standings.
The SEC standings at SECsports.com are not always updated to the minute. They're updated to the last 3 or 4 days.
Let's get on that, Greg. Come on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's.
Let's get on that, Greg.
I don't know how many people. I don't know, but they. No, they're all 8-1. Missouri comes to town this weekend. Arkansas's got a chance, and I'm not taking anything for granted here, but Arkansas's got a chance to win another series. I'm not going to go so far as to say they could sweep or will sweep, although they could.
Missouri's really struggled this year.
Yeah.
They're 0-for in the league. They're like 9 and something overall.
They haven't won a conference game yet.
Well, let me double check, because as we have learned, the SEC standings are not good. Yeah, so Texas swept Missouri.
Okay.
So Missouri is 0-9.
Wow.
In the league.
Well, you don't want to
year.
be the one. They're going to beat somebody.
Yeah, they will. They've only won 9 games this year.
Wow.
Missouri has. So just a tough year. Tough year for them. So look, hey, this is the time where you got to keep your guard up and you got to go take care of business and be ready to play.
I think a lot of people, a lot of Razorback fans, are going to make the shift this week from basketball to baseball. Now, some perhaps have already, they're in full-blown baseball mode. I know those people, and they've been all about it since the opening game, and it should be that way. But my sense is a lot of people, a lot of Razorback fans, are going to begin to turn the page this week. They may come to Baum Walker Stadium this weekend to watch them play Missouri. It may be the first time they've gone this year. I don't know. I know they've had big crowds, and they're going to continue to have big crowds. But I think the state's focus is going to turn to the baseball team as we move through the next 3 or 4 days. My take when I watch them, and I know they were really good last year. They're really good every year. But I'm not sure they're not a cut above right now from where they've been. I will admit, I'm not sure I've watched enough either to actually say that. I mean, I've been locked in on basketball. But every time I watch them play, I think that may be the best team they've ever had. And I'm still not sure it's not the best team they've ever had.
They've got dudes throughout the lineup. And that's something that I feel maybe has not always been the case. When you have multiple guys, like they always have good guys in the lineup, guys who can get hits, guys who can hit home runs, guys who can get timely hits with runners on base. They have multiple guys who can do that this year. A lot of different guys in the lineup who can manufacture runs, and that makes them dangerous. And then when you combine that with the pitching staff and the bullpen, I mean, you've got a great baseball, like a truly great baseball team.
I'm going to tell you why I think yesterday was impressive. It is hard to sweep. Yeah. I'm not saying it's easy to go win 2 of 3. It's not. But that happens routinely. Going to somebody else's ballpark, winning a couple of games, that happens routinely. Lots of times. In fact, most of the time. If you go on the road and you win Friday and Saturday, you're not going to win on Sunday. The other guys are going to get their game on Sunday. You're going to win the series. You're going to fly home happy because you've done exactly what you needed to do. But going on the road and sweeping somebody at home's not easy. Right. You just don't see it that often. They trailed yesterday 3-2. I know that's not an insurmountable deficit. But when it was 3-2 Vanderbilt yesterday, there was a part of me that thought Vandy's going to win this game. Good weekend. Arkansas's won a couple of games. They did exactly what they needed to do. But Vandy's probably going to win today. And then Arkansas scores all those runs in the 8th inning. And they've got firepower. They got pop, hit a couple of home runs to do it. That's how you sweep on the road. And that's why I say, I kind of thought this yesterday was – this may be as good a team as I've seen them have.
And don't, I don't want people to forget the fact that Vanderbilt is the number 14 team in the country.
It's not,
you went on the road to a top 15 team and swept them.
Yeah.
That's as impressive as anything you can do in the sport of college baseball.
All right, 877-377-6963. That's the number that'll get you into the program. This is the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
I'm not telling you that everything's great. I'm also not willing to say everything's terrible.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
There's simply not a better shopping experience than Macadoodles. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered. With an unbeatable selection, amazing prices, and service that's unbeatable, they've got everything you need. Whether you're stocking up for a party, updating your bar, or just grabbing your favorites, Roger and the team are always there to help. Make the smart choice. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
I always enjoy talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
Now is the time to join Hogs Plus, the Netflix for Razorback fans.
Arkansas wins it. Here they come.
Documentaries, exclusive interviews,
people everywhere, and then next thing you know, it's just everybody's packed.
Insider access, and an incredible library of films.
Arkansas leads it by 3.
A membership like no other.
I don't think it gets any better than this.
Well, you're giving me goosebumps now.
Start your free trial today at hogsplus.com.
If you're having issues with your gutters or drainage around the house, you need to call Hog Trough Gutters. They're locally owned and operated with over 30 years of experience. Seamless gutters made on site, trenching and French drains. Plus, they're fully licensed and insured, and every job comes with a 20-year guarantee. Hog Trough Gutters services all of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Log on to their website, hoggutters.com, to find out more. That's hog, Gutters.com. Today's been it's been a strange day.
Yeah, we've had some struggles here and there. Let's just be blunt. Can we be blunt?
Well, it's 50-50 at best.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Taco Bell's new caliente sauce made with red jalapenos is the spicy side of Cantina chicken. But does that mean everything has a spicy side? Like your cactus plant. It's like your other plants, but spicy. Or your coworker who says they hate everyone who works here, but you work here. Or when you say, I don't mean to be rude, but you do mean to be rude. But now you can feed your spicy side with Caliente Cantina chicken from Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for availability.
Up to $10,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off. Or lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer EV. With hands-free driving assistance, go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds for as low as $800 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you, so why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
When streaming became a thing, Chuck became the ultimate homebody. Now I don't ever have to leave now. It's all right here. My whole,
a lot of truth to
my
that.
whole portal to the outside world is through streaming.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, taxes are hard, but filing with H&R Block is easy. You can walk in, you can make an appointment, you can get 100% accuracy and your max refund guaranteed. Put 70 years of expertise to work for you at H&R Block. Bo's gone, but we have a clue on where he might be. Let's head to the Chevy Situation Room where, and by the way, right now you can save up to $11,000 on a new Chevy Silverado.
Yes, you can. Well, Chuck, I asked Twitter's AI why Bo is not on the show today.
Mm-hmm.
And it said there's no specific public information available in my knowledge base or from a quick check of recent updates that explains why Bo Mattingly might not be on the show today. However, based on past patterns, absences can happen for various reasons, like travel, personal commitments, or covering an event. For instance, a January 2025 episode noted Bo was returning from Atlanta after a game, leaving Chuck to host solo.
Wow. That's just from, like, talking into your phone.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, just ask Twitter AI.
That's amazing. No, Bo actually is recuperating and resting, or, that's what we think. In the aftermath of the trip to San Francisco.
My favorite part of this is based on past patterns.
Yeah, I know. I had no idea where that was going. And I guess that's how AI decided I was dead, based on past patterns.
Chuck may or may not be.
There's no way that guy can still be alive. All right, 877-377-6963. Let's go to Rogers. Kevin is on the line there. Kevin, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, Chuck, how you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
Oh, it was good. A lot of basketball.
I know.
Pretty much went, great wins for the baseball team. Excited to really jump into that. I hadn't jumped, getting through basketball and everything, but keeping up with it a little bit. Looks like he's added a lot more power to the lineup, and going to be a very dangerous team. Very proud of the basketball team. I mean, preseason, I think I talked to you this about before. I thought if he had his first year and he hadn't been to the Sweet 16, first year Sweet 16, I think that was very accomplishable. I mean, there was a lot of doubts the way the season was going early, but, we were right there, and I agree with you. We were playing as good as anybody. Anxious to see who we bring in and who stays. How are you feeling about the Final Four? I'm one of those defensive guys. I really like Houston. I think the best team Duke's played all year will be Houston. And the way they look defensively, offense doesn't always travel, but defense will. Just wanted to get your take on that, and you guys have a good day.
All right, Kevin, thank you. Houston swallowed them up. I mean, they just ate them alive. Tennessee had no chance. And it was evident from the get-go. From the first air ball they shot, which came quick. It was obvious Houston was just going to smother them. And, I mean, they were having to – when you're having to work to pass, I'm not talking about work to get a good shot. I'm talking about work to pass. It's going to be a tough day. It's going to be a long day. If you've got to work to make a pass out on the perimeter, imagine how hard it's going to be to get a good shot. And that's kind of what Tennessee went through, I thought, throughout the ballgame. Now, I don't watch – I'm going to be honest. I don't watch the Big 12 that much. I don't – I've been so locked in on the SEC. That's basically what I paid attention to. Houston's a great defensive team. My suspicion's always been they can't score enough to win. I don't know that I think that anymore after watching them play Tennessee, because Tennessee's really good defensively. It's not like Tennessee's a bad defensive team. They're one of the best in the country.
I think that's what separates this Houston team from maybe some of the other ones that Kelvin Sampson's had, is that they can really score and they can get a bucket when they need to. Look, they still play slow. They're still going to play games in the 60s. But they can hit 75 points. They can hit 80 points. They can. I mean, they're the number 3 3-point shooting team in the country this year. They shoot 40% as a team from deep. So they've got
Cryer's changed
yeah, they've got dudes like Cryer and Sharp. I mean, Sharp hits. Both those guys are around 42% from deep. Uzan is 45% from deep. Like they've got guys who can go get a bucket. That's what makes them dangerous. And that, like, Duke better be ready, because Houston's going to come to play. This is as close to a home game as you can get in the Final Four.
See, here's the thing that I think about all four of these teams. There were points in each of their games over the weekend that all of those teams, any of those teams, looked like they could win the national championship. I mean, to use Clark Kellogg's words, spurtability. I mean, Auburn's got it, man. Auburn's got it. And they displayed that in their game. I mean, they can go on a run just like that, and all of a sudden you're 10, 12 points behind, and you can't win the game because you're so far behind. Auburn closed, 39-17 was how they closed their game. I mean, that's big time. That's national championship. But I watched Houston play Tennessee, and I'm kind of like Kevin there. I'm thinking, I'm not so sure they can't shut anybody down. And then, with Cryer, I remember Cryer from Baylor. And, I mean, he's a player, and he changes you offensively. So there were points when I watched Houston play Tennessee, I'm thinking Houston could win the national championship. I felt like Florida was the best team in the country since mid-February. It's just been because of their skilled bigs and because of Walter Clayton Jr. Nobody's got a player like Walter Clayton Jr. Nobody's got a player that clutch, in my mind. in the NCAA tournament. So when I watch them play, and as I've watched them play for the last 6 weeks, I've thought that team not only can but will win the national championship. But I got to admit, Duke right now, and I hate him. I'm not going to lie to you. I can't stand him. But Duke right now, there are points watching them play where they look like the team that's going to win the national championship. I mean, they had points in their regional final where, I mean, they were playing as well as anybody's played all year.
Yeah, and I mean, look, Duke has a little bit of everything, right? Because they've got the size. I think a big key in this matchup between Duke and Houston is going to be how Houston handles Malawak down low. Because he just destroyed Alabama. Bama had no answer for him on the glass or when he got touches in the paint. And that's, Houston is a bit undersized. They run about 6'8", 6'9", the biggest bodies they're going to play. Now, Houston does a really good job of crashing the offensive glass, despite that lack of size. If they can do that, then they're going to have a chance to win. They got to neutralize Malawak, though.
The guys that go to the boards, the team that goes to the offensive boards the best, that's the team that's going to win.
Yeah.
Look.
That's right.
I know these guys are getting paid. I know they're getting paid good money. But it's still a college basketball game. Look at the number of missed open shots, even among the good teams. You watch those games over the weekend, lots of missed threes when they were wide open. Lots of teams did it. Teams that won did it. I'm not saying that, that's exclusive to just the teams that lost. It's still college basketball. Even though they're getting paid like pros, they're not pros in terms of their ability level. They're just not. So the team that goes to the glass may be the team that raises the trophy, cuts the nets, whatever you want to say, on Monday night, a week from tonight. But I still think Florida's the best team out there. Hey, the most money you're ever going to spend in all likelihood is when you buy a home. And you want somebody that understands that, number one, what it means to you, and understands how to guide you through the process as well. If it's your first time out, I promise you, Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, will get you home. Or if you've been doing this your whole life, you've got one of those jobs where you move all the time, or you've upsized, you've downsized, things just change. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, can take you home there too. That's what you get with a true real estate agent. I mean, not somebody that's doing it on the side, not somebody that's paying for their summer vacation with a couple of sales. I'm talking about somebody that does it every day. That's been my experience. It's been Bo's experience. And I think it'll be your experience too. In fact, I know it will be. Now, they're in Northwest Arkansas, Washington and Benton counties, Fort Smith. They've got a great office in Branson. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can log on to WeicherGriffin.com. This is the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning. That's the actual question. What the hell's going on around here?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
At the Stonebreaker Hotel, we believe in the art of gathering, whether over a thoughtfully prepared meal or a quiet moment on Markham Hill. Start your day with breakfast classics from the all-day menu, served from 7:30 to 1. Savor shareable bites from the bar and lounge menu until 10. And let the dinner menu from 5 to 9 bring familiar flavors with a fresh twist. And for a weekend well spent, how about brunch? Rooted in connection, designed for comfort. Learn more at stonebreakerhotel.com.
We were 0-5. They put us all in the coffin. They just didn't put the nails in.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Davalon, a swing and a high drive. Deep to right field. Charles Davalon out of here for a go-ahead home run. There's a high drive by Vahiba. Deep into center. He got absolutely all of it. and it's back-to-back home runs. A slider belted by Aloy. Back-to-back-to-back. It's 3 home runs in a row. Oh, my goodness.
Listen to every Razorback baseball game on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Forest Grid Incorporated, a company known for paying top wages and benefits, has immediate openings for equipment operators, pipe layers, concrete finishers, and laborers. For nearly 90 years, Forest Grid has built the foundations of the River Valley, and now you can become a part of that legacy. Apply now from any device at GoForestGrid.com. That's GoForestGrid.com. Do you finally want to get paid well for your work? Do you want to work for a company that treats you like family? Apply now at GoForestGrid.com. Forest Grid Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
At Mosquito Joe, our passion is making outside fun again. One of the most popular ways of achieving that goal is with a mosquito misting system. Mosquito Joe misting systems can be installed discreetly around your backyard, patio, boat dock, anywhere you're getting bugged.
The really cool thing about Mosquito Joe misting systems is that they mist automatically every day when mosquitoes are most active. And, if I want to, I can operate the system on my phone with a super easy-to-use app.
Mosquito misting systems. Just one more way Mosquito Joe makes outside fun again.
Visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you, so why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
That's 782-8940. That's the only number you need to know for all of your heating and air, plumbing, and drain cleaning needs. That's 782-8940, the only number you need to know.
It's Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning and Plumbing Services. To have a red truck rolling your way today for great American-made York products, give us a call at 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
Shirley's Tax Service has been serving the River Valley for 49 years and has won the Times record Best of the Best 8 years running. Shirley's is in the top 2% of independent tax offices nationwide. Shirley's takes pride in providing superior service at a price a working person can afford. Shirley's has 6 locations, now open in Ozark. So if you're looking for the best, fast, friendly, professional service in town at a price a working person can afford, call Shirley's Tax Service today, 922-1040. That's 922-1040.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
We're going to have to get used to the fact that the country's going to watch Arkansas play, and they're going to talk about Arkansas when the game's over. Eyeballs are going to be watching. Have you seen the numbers? Have you seen the numbers? They've been astronomical numbers.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, First Security Bank is about a lot more than just banking. Sure, they do have all the things you need to bank better, but it's more important than that. They've always been, and they'll always be, all in on local support. They've got convenient locations, and again, you will not find a bank that will handle your needs better. And you're not going to find a bank that's going to invest in the community the way they do. That's what it's all about at First Security Bank. You can log on to fsbank.com. Bank better at First Security Bank. Member FDIC. The top four number one seeds are headed to San Antonio, and nobody's more excited than Sir Charles.
Listen, I'm telling you the truth. I think it's a great city. I think they got the best organization in the NBA, but they do have some big old women down there. I mean, come on now.
Charles. There you go. They were talking about that over the weekend. He just can't live that. He can't live that one down.
I miss San Antonio, one of my favorite cities.
Why you like San Antonio?
Oh man, I look skinny down there.
Compared to who?
Oh, all them big old women down there.
It's been a long time since I've been to San Antonio. I don't really remember that part, but obviously it made an impression on him. All right, 877-377-6963. Sterling is in Center Ridge. Sterling, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, Bo. I mean, Chuck. Sorry, excuse me.
Yeah, Bo's recuperating.
Man, I was thinking about what you was talking about, and I caught myself. Usually I'm a guy when my team loses, I don't necessarily cheer against a team that beat us or necessarily cheer for them. Some people like to say when you get beat by the champion, it makes you look better. It just means that you didn't see the champion the same. You just fell on them the same time in the bracket. If we would have been on the opposite side of the bracket, we would have played them and lost them in the championship. We still this good and this that. People do that. I ain't never been one of those guys. So I caught myself Saturday. As the game got later and later, thinking to myself, please don't let Texas Tech win this game. Because I couldn't help but think that that's our spot. They're in our spot. They're in the spot that we would have been doing this, if not more, to this Florida team. I kept thinking that. And when Florida made that run at the end, I was so happy. I never cheered so hard for Florida before in my life, and probably never will ever again. Unless I put some money on them this weekend, but
I was the same way.
Like you.
I was the same way. Look, let's be honest. When our team loses in a tournament and they keep playing, we're all just looking for something to make ourselves feel better about. Like if the team that beats us wins the championship, well, they won the championship. If it hadn't, if we'd beaten them, we might have won it all. The truth is, we're just trying to make ourselves feel better. I felt better after watching Texas Tech blow that lead, and I'm not going to apologize for it.
And I was really interested. I haven't seen it yet, but I was going to look at the press conference of Texas Tech after they lost, because, the press conference after the game, our game was, we still believe. We knew we was going to win. We knew, so we just knew we had it. We were a tougher team. We going to fight in this. And you know what they all say. We say it, too, when we win. But I wanted to hear them say, if they felt like they were going to win when they were down 16, and down 13 or 4 minutes ago, they had to figure they were going to win that one when they're up 10 with 3 minutes to go. So
I'm sure they did feel like it.
And I guess I wanted to see them, like you say, I wanted to see them heartbroken too. I guess that's what a sore loser part.
Join us in disappointment. Yeah, I was a sore loser. I'll admit, I was a sore loser when I was watching the game.
And last thing I'll be real quick with the baseball team. I mean, it's very, very impressive. I mean, that's a big sweep. I mean, Vanderbilt, this is the 14th ranked team in the country. So basically, we're talking like if you go by the rankings, this is a super regional matchup on the road, and you swept them. And that's not a bad baseball team over there. And this league is, and we all know it's the SEC. You name the sport, it's tough and probably the toughest in the country. But to go do that, to get a sweep, period. Van Horn said it, and I'm not breaking news here, but we don't need to take that lightly, what just happened this weekend with this baseball team. And Bart said it best earlier. We need to appreciate this baseball team and what they're doing year after year after year. No, we don't have that national championship, but to be relevant and be a contender every year, you can't beat it. I mean, this I don't know how many years straight that we done won 18-plus games in this league. And, I mean, that is quite the feat. Guys, y'all have a great, wonderful day.
All right. Thank you, Sterling. Hope you have a good week. Yeah, that is it is remarkable what they do. And they do it year after year after year. We are so lucky. As a fan base, we are so lucky that we get to watch a baseball program that is among the best in the country each and every year. The one thing that you don't know how many games they're going to win. You don't know, where they're going to end up in the standings, but you always know that they're going to be in the hunt. You know, that the road to the championship, if you want to use that term, is going to – I mean, Arkansas is going to have something to do with it. And that's just something that most places don't have. We're beginning to see, for the longest time, baseball in the Southeastern Conference, it was really the only league where that and the ACC, where the schools had the weather, the resources, the talent pool in the backyard, so to speak. It was the only place where, generally speaking, the champions came from, because that's where all the players were. Basketball is becoming like that now. We saw it with 7 teams in the Sweet 16. You get to the Elite 8. What was it, 4? They have 4 or 5 there. 4 in the Elite 8?
Yeah.
And we see in baseball, the Final 8 in baseball is College World Series. Not uncommon at all to have 4 SEC teams there. Sometimes 5, sometimes 3, but there's going to be more than one. That's where we are in basketball now. My guess would be, as we move forward over the next 5 years, the SEC's not going away in basketball, not at all. In fact, I think it's only going to get better because just of the way the landscape is laying out in college basketball right now. I want to get into that a little bit more as we move through the show. Is the NCAA basketball tournament too chalky? You got 4 number 1 seeds. That's all that's left. You had 4 1s, 3 2s, and a 3 playing. Is that kind of how it worked out over the weekend? Yeah. That's as chalky as it gets. I don't think that's a bad thing. I'm not a Cinderella fan, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. In fact, we'll talk about that after the break. 877-377-6963. Back with more in a moment. This is the Chuck and Bo Show.
Bo, you said something interesting. I don't think you meant to, but when you talked about those...
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
If you haven't tried a flight by Yuengling, you're missing out on the great taste of Yuengling that is a light beer. It's the next generation of light beer. Get it on draft, in the can, the new skinny cans, and now the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Perfect for any occasion. It's just 95 calories, and you're still enjoying a Yuengling. Take your beer game to new heights with Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer.
You know the sound, you know the place, and you know the time of year that means live racing at Oaklawn is coming. If your Oaklawn is playing favorites, letting it ride on long shots, or just soaking up the vibes of race day, it's time to make your plans and discover your Oaklawn. Live racing starts Friday, December 6th. Reserve seats, rooms in our hotel, or a spot in your favorite Oaklawn restaurant at oaklawn.com.
This is my Oaklawn.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Ready or not, it is tax season. But luckily, H&R Block is here. Whether you need expert help with your taxes or simply have a question or two, your neighborhood H&R Block is here for you. Taxes are hard, but filing with H&R Block is easy. Walk in or make an appointment and get 100% accuracy and your max refund guaranteed. Put 70 years of tax expertise to work for you. Get those taxes squared away today at H&R Block.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but at Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric, we're here to help lighten the load. This new year, enjoy no payments and no interest on all home repairs and replacements. Whether it's fixing that stubborn plumbing issue, replacing an aging heating and air system, or upgrading your electrical, our Paschal pros are here to keep your home running smoothly and stress-free. Visit GoPaschal.com today to schedule your service. Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric. Professional people, professional service. See dealer for details with approved credit. Restrictions apply.
Hey, it's Bo Mattingly, and McDonald Eye Associates is my one-stop for any vision need. The progressives they have me in are a game changer, and my new sunglasses are going to be great for baseball season. McDonald Eye was the first practice in the state to perform LASIK, and they have the most experience. They also have the new vision correction options for all ages, including cataract and clear lens replacement to see your best from all distances. For your best vision, McDonald Eye is the place to go.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You hear that? You hear that?
Back to Save Sports Radio.
Since 1992, the Inn at the Mill has welcomed guests to experience the most unique place to stay when visiting Northwest Arkansas. Centrally located at the Johnson exit off I-49, the Inn at the Mill has established a rich tradition of comfort, convenience, and value. Whether it's the big game, business travel, a trip to Crystal Bridges, or a weekend getaway that brings you to Northwest Arkansas, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious room with ample space to spread out. And when I'm there on business, I appreciate the fast, free internet to keep me connected to work and the laid-back European-style breakfast to start the day. Experience unique and different at the Inn at the Mill, just off I-49 at the Johnson exit. Call 479-443-1800 to make your reservation. That's 479-443-1800 or visit innatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
It's Brad and Stephanie here, owners at Mosquito Joe. Stephanie, lots of people ask us how we ever got involved in Mosquito Joe. Tell them what you told me years ago when we first started.
I said if you figured out a way to keep the mosquitoes out of our yard without coating ourselves and kids with bug spray, then sign me up. And if this works, we have to share this with our friends and neighbors.
To this day, that's the mission of Mosquito Joe. It's our passion to make outside fun again for all Arkansans. Whatever's bugging you outside, we've got the solution.
Visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
All right, Chuck, let's get to the important stuff. Did you go out last night?
No, I did the daytime thing yesterday. I don't know why you guys are fixated on this nighttime deal when we got a 6 a.m. show. I'm a daytime guy.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Bo, on the other hand, is a nighttime guy. And I think he's back late from San Francisco, and he'll be back with us tomorrow. Hey, if you're looking for the perfect light beer, Flight by Yuengling raises the bar for light beers. Now it's even better. Introducing the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle.
How about that?
Yeah,
There it is.
Yeah. See, Bo normally has this on his side of the table, but I get to pirate it today. I actually thought it was empty. It's full. I can crack it open right now.
I think he's opened it before.
Yeah.
Has he really?
I think it's been sitting there opened.
This one's not been.
Oh, okay.
This one's not been. He might have.
Maybe he drank the other one.
He might have. He might have. But hey, grab it at your favorite store. Ask your bartender. Take your beer game to new heights. Flight by Yuengling. It's the next generation of light beers. Let's go to Rogers. Talk to Cato. Cato, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, good morning, Chuck.
Good morning.
Hey, just a quick question about the NIL as it pertains to the bracket. We're talking about it being all chalk right now. Do you feel like that is directly related to the NIL, or even more importantly, the next 10 years,
Yes.
is the NIL going to solidify that as chalk, or is there a way that the NIL can actually open that up for other teams? What's your opinion on that?
Okay, thank you. I theoretically, let's say you have a program out there that is a, mid-major by definition, but that a booster that's anything but mid-major, and he starts throwing a bunch of money into it. Conceivably, one of those teams could make a move, but that'll be few and far between. I think that, yes, NIL has not just a lot to do with it, but most of what we're seeing right now is a result of NIL. You got to remember by the time we got to the Elite Eight, or the Sweet 16, I'm sorry, the worst seed was ours. And that was the 10th seed. So I don't think you're going to see the mid-majors make runs through the NCAA tournament the way we once did. I don't see that happening because of NIL. Because I mean, look at some of the teams out there right now that made the tournament. I forget which team it was, but one of the teams that made the tournament, their entire starting five entered the transfer portal. They're a mid-major. Well, if you're playing in a mid-major school and you have a great year, it's like a pro having a career season right before they become a free agent. That guy's going somewhere for big money. You see it all the time in professional sports. College sports, from a mid-major basketball standpoint, is the same way. Look at all these guys that are in the portal right now. You got players from mid-major schools all over America that are being recruited by the big boys. You know, they weren't the players they are now 2-3 years ago. But they developed. They went to a smaller school. They got to play. And they got to work on their games. And so I think that's where the mid-majors come into play now in college basketball. You're going to have some that make runs maybe to the round of 32, occasionally to the Sweet 16. But those mid-majors that have good years and make it to the dance, they're going to lose all their players. All their players are leaving. They're going to the high majors because that's where the money is. So I think that it's here to stay. I don't think it's going anywhere at all. And NIL's the whole deal. Not NIL, but the pay. It's going to be as much revenue share, if not more, moving forward. But the money on the table, yes, that is what. That's the reason I think you got 4 number 1 seeds out there. And I don't think it's going to take another 17 years for us to have 4 number 1s in the Final Four. This is the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Did you know Chevy of Fayetteville is the #1 volume dealer in Northwest Arkansas? That means nobody sells more cars, trucks, or SUVs than Chevy of Fayetteville. They've been a part of our community for over 25 years. They're supporters of our local schools and the Razorbacks. And they're the best after the sale. An award-winning service and parts department, a waiting area, complimentary loaners. So go see Chris Mark in Denver and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville, inside the Fayetteville Auto Park.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweatnum Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to SweatnumCosmetic.com and click on the Sweatnum Edge.
I always enjoy talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
There's no better shopping experience than you're going to find at Macadoodles or at Guess Who in Bentonville. And every Wednesday is Wine Down Wednesday. 15% off every bottle of wine in the store, even if it's already on sale. But when it comes to selection, amazing prices, and unbeatable customer service, Macadoodles and Guess Who in Bentonville is second to none. Wine, beer, and spirits. Stock up for your next party, or just stop by and grab your favorite. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista, and Guess Who in Bentonville. When is the last time you thought, oh, the SEC's making an announcement today, and it's going to be good for the Hogs?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny skies. It'll be a cool day, a high low 60s across the north, near 70 south. Clear skies, low to mid 40s overnight, and then tomorrow, sunny skies, high temperatures warming up in the low to mid 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits.
Budweiser, the American lager. A time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 Fort Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. You're listening to ESPN 95.3.
Touchdown, Arkansas! How did he get that wide open? Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith, or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
At Mosquito Joe, our passion is making outside fun again. One of the most popular ways of achieving that goal is with a mosquito misting system. Mosquito Joe misting systems can be installed discreetly around your backyard, patio, boat dock, anywhere you're getting bugged.
The really cool thing about Mosquito Joe misting systems is that they mist automatically every day when mosquitoes are most active. And, if I want to, I can operate the system on my phone with a super easy-to-use app.
Mosquito misting systems. Just one more way Mosquito Joe makes outside fun again.
Visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
When second's making a play, short's got to cover.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle.
Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage. It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself. 1, 2, 3, Wildcat!
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
So you just searched what should the Chuck and Bo Show talk about today?
Yep.
I'm dead.
Number 2, Chuck Barrett's legacy after his passing.
Reflect on the late Chuck Barrett's impact on Arkansas sports broadcasting, especially poignant since his death earlier this month on February 2nd, 2025.
I'm going to take a minute to talk about my friend Chuck, who's no longer with us.
Yeah.
Chuck had a big heart.
Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night, love y'all to death, Jeff.
Do you mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "Let's turn on the Chuck and Bo show."
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Bo's not here today. We did a little AI search on Bo, too. You know, AI declared me dead back in February. Where is Bo?
Well, this is I asked Twitter's AI, why is Bo Mattingly not on the Chuck and Bo show today? And they said any absence could be due to a variety of personal or professional reasons, such as illness, travel, or a scheduling conflict that aren't publicly detailed for this exact date. Historically, the show's has noted instances where one host is solo, like when Chuck Barrett hosted alone while Bo was returning from Atlanta after a game, but no such update exists for today based on available data. Hang on.
All right.
Given it's a Monday morning, it's possible Bo could be taking a planned break after a busy sports weekend.
There you go.
But without an official announcement or real-time update, the exact reason remains unclear.
The official announcement came via text this morning. And, Bo's, hey, it's tough. Yeah, exactly.
They wound up dead.
You go from the West Coast back to the Central Time Zone. I mean, it's
it'll mess with you.
Yeah. So Bo's recovering today. He'll be back with us tomorrow. Hey, taxes are hard. Filing with H&R Block, though, is easy. You can walk in, make an appointment, get 100% accuracy, and your max refund guaranteed. Put 70 years of tax expertise to work for you at H&R Block. All right, we were talking a little bit of basketball, and we got some callers, and I'm going to head right back to the phones here in just a second. But I know that, Cinderella has become the popular term in the March Madness NCAA basketball tournament. Got to have a Cinderella to make this thing work, or so the media tell us. I've never believed that. Look, big brands are what sells. That's why they're big brands. If they didn't sell, they wouldn't be big. They have mass appeal. My guess would be in the least chalky or the most chalky of basketball tournaments in the last 15, 18, 20 years, the numbers are going to be the highest that they've ever been. I suspect when all the numbers are added up at the end of the basketball game next Monday night, we will come on here at some point next week and say this was the most watched NCAA tournament of our lifetimes. And I think the big brands are what brings you those kind of numbers.
Yeah, I think there are two things at play, and I think it's the big brands with the name brand players, right? So you look at like a Duke with Cooper Flag. You look at a brand like Houston, who, they've been the last 5 tournaments, 2 Final Fours, and Elite Eight, and 2 Sweet 16s.
They've been to 7 Final Fours over the years. That's a legit program.
Auburn, an SEC brand where people are just dialed in. Florida, has won national championships this century. They are a big brand program with big time players. So you have that. You also have sports betting being legalized across the country, and more people placing bets, like the numbers that they're talking about. So you've got TV numbers, you've got sports gambling numbers.
Well, you're right.
And those two things combined,
you're right.
and you're going to have the most watched tournament ever.
It's
But I think it's mostly star power and mostly big brands and big name teams and programs.
I agree, and we may see some 10, 11, 12 seeds get to the Sweet 16 like Arkansas did this year, but I think generally speaking they'll be from power conferences.
Yeah.
They'll be like Arkansas was this year, a team that finished a little bit below 500 in their league, began to put it together down the stretch, got hot, maybe got some injured players back. That's the team that's going to make the run. But I just don't think we're going to see teams like George Mason. I'm not saying it's never going to happen again, but I don't see any way it can, because a lot of those schools are playing with first-year players too, because their good players are all going to the high majors. If they make it to the NCAA tournament, if you're a mid-major, your roster is going to be completely depleted by the following season because they're all going somewhere where the money is. So this is not going to be the last time we talk about how it's been really chalky over the past 3 or 4 weeks. I just think that's the way it's going to be, but I don't think that's as bad as what some college basketball media types are going to tell you it is. I think the game's as popular now as it's ever been, maybe more so. Brent's on the line in Searcy. Brent, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Hey, Chuck, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing really good. Hey, Chuck.
Yeah.
Let's just say you're a varsity player and Bo is not. Because a varsity player answers the bell whether you come in from San Francisco or not.
Well, I didn't answer the bell out there every morning either, so I'm not going to cast stones. That's why we got 2 of us, man. That's why we got 2 of us.
That's true, and I didn't mean it bad towards Bo. I'd be in the bed too if I'd been in San Francisco all weekend and had to recover from heartbreak and just make it back, come fighting back.
I hear you.
But hey, Chuck, I agree with Sterling. I was all in on Florida making that 14-point run or whatever it was that ended the game because Grant McCaslin had to. Is that his name? The coach of Texas Tech. He had to eat his words.
What do you have to eat?
Well, okay, now you sound like Rick Schaefer.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't mean it like that. What did he say? What did he have to backtrack on? Is what I'm saying.
After the game, when he against us, when he said we knew we were going to win because that's how Arkansas plays or something like that. We knew we were going to win. Well, he knew he was going to win when he got up by 10, but he didn't.
Yeah. Oh, I took pleasure in them losing. Don't get me wrong. I was rooting for the same thing to happen to them. I'm a sore loser.
Me too. I'm not ashamed to admit it, but I think Florida for the past month and 6 weeks has just been playing out of their mind, and I think either them or Houston will win it. What's the matchups this weekend? Do you know?
Florida and Auburn are going to play the early game at 5, and then Duke and Houston will play at 7:50 or thereabouts.
So the veteran coach in the 2 veteran coaches are taking on the 2 young pups, right?
That's right. You can look at it that way. That's exactly right.
But I think Arkansas basketball is only going to get better, Chuck. The sky's the limit for us, and can you answer that question?
All right, we'll talk about it. Thanks, Brent. I appreciate your call. Oh, I don't think they've even approached what the ceiling's going to be under Cal. I think they're just getting started. I think this will be the worst year by far. Look, the guys they've got signed, the guys they've got coming in, and I don't know how to put it other than to just say it like this: the people who have gotten behind the basketball program from a financial standpoint, and most people know who the group that I'm talking about. They're fired up. I mean, they're excited. They're all in, and I suspect that's going to be reflected in what this next signing class looks like. But that's what you want. And Look, if this thing had sputtered, if what we saw in January had continued, I don't know that people would feel that way. But they turned it around, and they got to the Sweet 16. And that's what people will remember from this season. That's what people remember from every season. Most people couldn't tell you what Muss's collective SEC record was. You might be surprised to know it's a lot closer to just plain old 500 than you might think. But 3 16s, couple of Elite Eights, and those are great seasons. And so I think, again, we're just touching the tip of the iceberg here. I think it's going to get a lot better. Rod's cruising on I-40. Rod, welcome to the Chuck and Bo Show.
Good morning, Chuck. How you doing?
Man, I'm all right.
First episode of the Chuck Barrett Talk Show.
Yeah, it's just the Chuck Show today.
Yeah, I think AI got Bo. He's probably holding for ransom, all over the place.
That thing's amazing.
Nobody knows. I don't know. You don't know. And nobody knows where Bo is. Where's Bo? Well, AI got him, right?
That's right. AI has sentenced him to. No, it's not me. Yeah, well, yeah, it got me. You're right. It killed me. I mean, they let both live, but they put me in the ground.
I know they didn't put the nails in the coffin though.
There you go. Out. That's right. They forgot the nails.
Kentucky lost and Arkansas baseball won, so pretty good weekend.
Hey, baseball team looked good. Kentucky, not so much.
Baseball team looks like world beaters.
They. No, you're right. I mean, right now, I said this earlier. Every time I watch them play, I think they're going to win. I think they're going to find a way to win. And it's not necessarily
so much,
and it's not necessarily because I think they got more scrap or want to. And, I mean, they may have all that. But I just think they got better players. And I think offensively right now, they're just they're off the charts.
That's a lot of home runs.
Yeah, you're right.
In a row.
You're right.
Anyway, that's all I got, man. You have a good morning tonight.
All right, Rod. Be careful out there. Thanks for your call. Yeah, they I think Van Horn said over the weekend, I've had teams that have maybe hit this well but not hit this many home runs. I mean, that's the thing that you notice, and obviously that's what can get you back into it in a hurry. 877-377-6963. Back with more in a moment. This is the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
I don't like getting up early in the mornings. I mean, even to go duck hunting, but I do get up every morning now to listen to you guys.
That's what I'm talking about. Thank you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
The doors are open, and it's a new era of elegance. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry has unveiled its stunningly redesigned 8,500 square foot showroom for an unmatched luxury experience. There's breathtaking jewelry, of course, expert service, and private viewing rooms designed for comfort. And they've got an in-house cafe with handcrafted coffee to go along with a special coffee table book celebrating Arkansas's heritage. Because it's more than jewelry, it's your story at Blakeman's Fine Jewelry.
We care a lot about supporting Arkansas businesses here on the Chuck and Bo Show, and we both like keeping our rides looking good. Splash Car Wash just became our new neighbors here in Fayetteville. They're a locally owned Arkansas business, and they've been serving the state since 1989. They're good folks, and you can get a free car wash by texting Splash Arkansas to 22322. That's Splash Arkansas to 22322.
Ready or not, it is tax season. But luckily, H&R Block is here. Whether you need expert help with your taxes or simply have a question or two, your neighborhood H&R Block is here for you. Taxes are hard, but filing with H&R Block is easy. Walk in or make an appointment and get 100% accuracy and your max refund guaranteed. Put 70 years of tax expertise to work for you. Get those taxes squared away today at H&R Block.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
Yeah, does Chuck sleep that much? Because it just sometimes,
He's old, so when you get old, you don't really sleep as much.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Hey, Ty Richardson for A Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. They service commercial and residential lawns for weed management and fertilization for a lush, healthy lawn. Need bush hogging? They do that too. A Cut Above also offers tree and limb removal. Don't forget hauling and dumpster rental as well. More than just a mowing service, they're A Cut Above. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. Lawn, landscaping, power washing, stump grinding, leaf removal, mulching, flea tick, and mosquito control. 719-5605.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you stuck in a paper jam of printer prices? Paper cuts from budget cuts? Don't throw in the towel. Call Dixie Digital Imaging and dive into our new and used inventory blowout. We're slashing prices on top-of-the-line Xerox, Brother, and Epson printers and multifunction devices. Gently used or brand new models that are tired of being in our warehouse. Don't miss out on these deals. Call 479-783-6600 for more details. Quantities and availability are limited. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
People make opinions, and I'm like, did you think about it? Did you actually think about it? Or did you repeat something that you heard on aisle 7 while you were eating a bag of chips in the grocery store?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You guys eat potato chips in the grocery store? You guys do that? You guys eat like food as you go through the grocery store?
No.
So, well, I mean, he was just talking about that. I don't know if you'd heard that. I've seen people do it. I personally do not. I've seen people eat grapes and fruit.
Couple
and things
grapes.
Like that, going, really, you've actually eaten grapes?
Like as a child.
Yeah.
As a child.
You don't do it as an adult?
No.
No, I don't either. Hey, if you're having issues with your gutters or the drainage around your home, Hog Trough Gutters. That's who we use, and we'd recommend them wholeheartedly. They're locally owned and operated, over 30 years of experience. They do it all. They make seamless gutters on site. They do trenching work, French drains, fully licensed and insured. Every job comes with a 20-year warranty. They service all of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Aluminum prices are going up. That means gutters, fascia, soffit, gutter guards. It's going to cost more. So you want to act quickly, and they can fix you up. HogGutters.com. They're the ones to call. They're the ones who will take care of you. Baseball Razorbacks go to Central Arkansas, I guess tomorrow. They'll bust down tomorrow and play Grambling tomorrow night, and then come back home and get ready to play Missouri this weekend. Hogs are 8-1 after sweeping Vanderbilt over the weekend. First time they've swept over there in 31 years. But they're looking like a team that's going to contend. I mean, they're looking like a team, and obviously we knew they were going to contend, but by contend, I mean for the whole thing. I mean, when I watch them right now, and I said this earlier, there are times I look at them and I think I'm not sure they've ever had a better team.
Man, they look so good. And you know, we've been fortunate here in this state to watch a lot of good college baseball over the years, a lot of good college baseball. And this team looks as good as any of the great Razorback baseball teams of the recent and not so recent past. And, yeah, I would expect them to continue to play at a high level and be right in the conversation. Look, all you can ask for is to be in the conversation at the end of the year.
Well, they're going to be.
And have that chance to get to Omaha. And then once you get there, all bets are off because there's a lot of luck and crazy things and just baseball that's involved. But, man, this team sure looks the part.
All right, here's what I want to talk about for the remainder of the program. Let's look back on basketball. How will you remember year one under John Calipari? What stands out for you? What was your defining moment? For me, it was not, even though I do think the NCAA tournament was great. I mean, I loved playing up in Providence, and even though it was hectic, I mean, it's kind of cool. You're in Providence, you fly home for a day, you're in San Francisco. by the time we got out there last Monday night, I was thinking, man, 48 hours ago, we were in Providence. And now we're like literally all the way across the country. So that part was pretty cool. But for me, it was beating Kentucky and Texas back-to-back on the road. Those were the two games that, to me, flipped the season, changed the script. If you don't beat Kentucky, you're 1-7 in conference play. And even though, as it turned out, Texas was not at the end of the year what Arkansas was. I mean, the Razorbacks beat them twice. But if you don't beat Kentucky, I'm not sure you beat Texas down there. Because things just, if you're 1-7, and they've snowballed, and you've just lost at Kentucky, and everybody's been on Cal for, a couple of days, and then you got to go play in Austin. Who knows how it would have turned out. But for me, that's the week where everything flipped. And I can remember this was before the Kentucky game, and as you can imagine, everybody was there in terms of the media. Jimmy Dykes, we were talking at the shoot-around before the game. This was Friday night in Rupp Arena. And, he's been around Cal a lot. And he said, just when you think it's over, that's when you better watch out. He is, and he said it would be just like him to beat Kentucky tomorrow night. And I can remember thinking, that'd be great. But, let's see what happens. And then lo and behold, they do. And then lo and behold, they go to Texas. And everybody started to believe. They were 3-6 at that point. But I think everybody began to believe that something special might happen. Now, the low points weren't finished. The rocky ride didn't end right there. They still lost at South Carolina. And there were people that were, getting the nails out at the very least at that point. But I just wonder, what are you going to remember about this year? What was your defining moment for the Razorback basketball team? I hear we have responses. What's the word?
A lot of Kentucky. Win over Kentucky.
That's the game?
That's when we turned things around. And then someone also said when they beat Michigan.
That was a big win.
It's a good memory, too, from the year.
That Michigan team turned out to be pretty good.
Very good.
Won the Big Ten tournament. I know Michigan State won the regular season, but that turned out to be when they were right smack dab on the bubble, and we didn't know what was going to happen. That was one of those games you hang your hat on because Michigan turned out to be very good. But that's interesting. That has it been primarily Kentucky?
Primarily Kentucky.
Yeah. Well, that was certainly the one that I think, for me anyway, flipped the script.
Yeah, I'll go a little later in the year, Chuck. The Texas game, the first game without Thero.
Yeah.
Playing without Boogie, without Thero. They go to Texas, they win, they host Texas here in Fayetteville, win the game in overtime. It just showed that this team was going to fight regardless of who was out there, and that they were going to play hard and be capable of beating anybody. And I think that's going to be my enduring whenever I look back on this season, I'm going to look back on a team that just fought like hell every single game. And they didn't win every game, but they played hard every single game. And that's, as a Razorback fan, that's what you want to see. You want to see your Razorbacks play hard, play with that kind of blue-collar mentality and fight. And that's what this team did, and that game embodied that.
Well, you think about when they lost for the 5th time in conference play, and they fell to 0-5. That was the game Boogie went out. And let's just be honest. We're all lying if we don't admit that it crossed our minds they might not win a conference game. Yeah. They might go 0-for. I think it crossed a lot of people's minds, and we'd be less than honest if we said otherwise. But fast forward. Look, I'll be honest. I wondered. It crossed my mind. Is this team going to win a game? But by the time they got to Providence, I was certain they were going to beat St. John's. There wasn't any doubt in my mind about it. I told you guys after watching St. John's and Creighton play the Big East Final, I don't know what's going to happen, but those teams aren't anywhere near as athletic as what Arkansas has been playing. Not even close. I'm not sure there's a higher seed than – I'm not saying St. John's was a fraud. I'm not suggesting that at all. But I'm not sure there was a more overseeded team out there, just to be real honest. I know their record earned them that high seed. But of the teams that were seeded, what were they, 3? Of the teams that were seeded – no, they were a 2 seed, weren't they? Yeah. Of the teams that were seeded that high.
In fact, they would have been the first 2 seed if you go by the bracket.
I'm not sure there was a more overseeded team out there. But my confidence level in the Razorbacks going into that game, I was not worried about that game. Now, I think Kansas was better than St. John's, just for the record. I think if Kansas and St. John's had played a consolation game, Kansas would have won. But that's how things changed over the course of a couple of months. We go from wondering if they're going to be able to avoid going 0-18 to number 2 seed, piece of cake. I mean, that's where it was. That is as remarkable a turnaround as you're going to find. And I was talking to Dan Bonner, CBS's guy, was out there talking at the shoot-around before, I guess, the last game, the Texas Tech game. And we were talking about how words like togetherness and resilience, sometimes we toss those words around so cavalierly that we lose sight of how powerful they can be. We use cliches like, didn't let go of the rope, held it together when others might not have. But it's true. I mean, it sounds corny and cliche-ish, but it's true. The reason this team went as far as they did is because they held this thing together when nobody thought they could. They kept hold of the rope, to use another cliche, while they were getting better. And that's hard to do. We toss those phrases around like they just happen all the time. And if one team will just want it a little bit more than the other, they'll win, because everything else, of course, is equal. But those were the things that happened, and the turnaround was remarkable. And but for me, it all started that Saturday night in Lexington and continued on. Forget they played Texas, I think, on Tuesday night. I think it was a quick turnaround. Lexington on Saturday and Austin on Tuesday. They come out of that 2-0, and we all began to believe. 877-377-6963. Back with more in a moment. This is the Chuck and Bo Show.
Touching the hearts of Arkansans, the passive-aggressive Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Hey, it's Bo Mattingly, and McDonald Eye Associates is my one-stop for any vision need. The progressives they have me in are a game changer, and my new sunglasses are going to be great for baseball season. McDonald Eye was the first practice in the state to perform LASIK, and they have the most experience. They also have the new vision correction options for all ages, including cataract and clear lens replacement to see your best from all distances. For your best vision, McDonald Eye is the place to go. So I spent yesterday, you mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sportsbook in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Hey, Ty Richardson for JamMart. JamMart is always trying to save you money, and that's why they partner with Valero. Hook up your checking account to the Valero Pay Plus app, and you'll get 10 cents off a gallon, plus other special deals on holidays and more. JamMart and Valero, passing on the savings to you. Now available at the 3 Fort Smith Valero JamMart locations. And stop by any of the 6 JamMart locations in the area. JamMart, the leading gas station and convenience store in the region.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
We all make plans for the future. But car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Randy Milam in Alma or Brandon Zimmerman in Barley.
Every Thursday, take a trip down memory lane at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Joe's is bringing back the flavors you loved from Cuco's, the beloved restaurant that once called this place home. Join Joe's Grill and Cantina for Throwback Thursday and savor classic Cuco's dishes. It's the taste from the past with the vibrant atmosphere of Joe's. Don't miss out on the reunion every Thursday at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Come for the food, stay for the memories. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Hey, Ty Richardson, we're at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith. Ethan, you guys have a massive event coming up May 2nd and May the 3rd.
We will have the Kawasaki Good Times demo truck here for Kawasaki demo rides, games, and prizes. Rollin' Smoke Barbecue food truck will also be here, and on that Friday, Ruskin and Zach will report live from the event. That is the Steel Horse Rally weekend. See our Facebook page for all the details and updates.
That's Wheeler Power Sports, 901 North 11th Street in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I've always been the underdog. I was raised as the underdog, us against everybody.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I don't think he's going to be able to play that card next year. I think John Calipari playing the underdog card probably going to be a one-off kind of deal. I don't think Arkansas is going to be viewed as the underdog next year. I'm excited to see what happens, what the roster is going to look like, because as I said earlier, everybody's excited about the basketball program right now, and that includes the people who are, in large part, spending a lot of the money right now. I don't know how else to put it. They're pretty excited about it. And the revenue share stuff's not gone into effect yet. And until it does, I mean, it's still the wild, wild west out there. And just to be blunt, we're better equipped than we used to be. So I'm anxious to see how it all works out. Hey, let me talk about Blakeman's Fine Jewelry for just a moment before we head back to the phones. The doors are indeed open to a new era of elegance. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry has unveiled what's really a stunning 8,500 square foot showroom. And it's really an unmatched luxury experience. They've got an expanded selection of jewelry, and that really sells it short. Breathtaking, sparkling, pick your adjective. They've got it at Blakeman's. Expert service tailored just for you. This is what they do. It's what they've done. This is their life. When they talk to you about this, they really are speaking from the perspective of an expert. And private viewing rooms designed for comfort and exclusivity. You can indulge in a handcrafted coffee or a sweet treat at their in-house cafe. How many places have that? They've got this coffee table book there. And it talks about Arkansas's heritage. And it really dawns on you that it really is more than just jewelry. I mean, it's your story. And that's what they're all about. You can visit Blakeman's Fine Jewelry today. All right, let's go back to the phones. Rick is on the line in Lowell. Rick, you are on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Good morning, Chuck.
Hey, Rick.
Just, you said, what do you remember about this?
Yeah, what do you remember?
Well, the one thing I remember is, when Calipari come in, I think we had one, maybe two players in the locker room on scholarship, if that. And, I mean, they said this season's going to be garbage. This season's going to be trash. We overpaid to get Calipari in here. The Tysons paid too much money. But look where we're at. And really the season turned, and everybody's talked to it ad nauseum already. Kentucky's where it turned around. And, here we were in the Sweet 16 and playing for the Elite Eight. And I don't know that you could – and teamwork. Teamwork is probably – and team is probably the word that comes to mind for me for this season is when we won in Kentucky and then we won in Texas, you just seen the team come together. And I just, win, lose, or tie, I'm a hog fan till I die. And, Cardinal red and white's running in his veins.
All right, Rick, thank you. I appreciate your call. And I think he echoes the sentiments probably of a lot of people around the state. By the time it was over, by the time we got to the end of the finish line, everybody felt good, I think, about not only what had happened, but where they're headed. And, we talk about this on this show, and sometimes it falls on deaf ears because people want to pronounce the worth of the season, halfway through. We go through it in football. We went through it in basketball this year. You've got to let the thing play out. You've just got to. It's hard to do. Look, there are people on the text line, people who call into this show who are excited about the way things ended. And they're the same people who in January were saying, this has just been a failure. It's not going to work. And I'm putting it kindly compared to the way a lot of them put it. And that's just kind of how long seasons go. We've talked about this too, and I, as someone who's involved in it, I can tell you that basketball seasons are long seasons. Arkansas played their exhibition game against Kansas on, I think it was October 25th, something like that. It's the last week of October. Well, by the time they finished out in San Francisco, we'd hit the 25th of March. So that's 5 months. Now you think about just in your life, just in your job, just in whatever it is you do. Think about the ebb and the flow over the course of 5 months. Now, we all like to think of ourselves as the models of consistency, but none of us are. We talk about ourselves sometimes in that vein, but it's not really true. We have good days and bad days. Everybody does. You go through a 2 or 3 week stretch at work where you can do no wrong. And then you go through a 2 or 3 week stretch at work where, maybe not everything is bad, but it's not as good as it was maybe the 2 or 3 weeks before. Doesn't mean you're a bad employee. Doesn't mean you're doing a bad job. It just means over the course of 5 months, you're going to go through periods where everything's clicking, and you're going to go through periods where you just can't have a prayer answered. That's how it works. And seasons are like that too. Ball seasons are like that too. This idea that teams out there can just be like robots. You can wind them up every Tuesday or Wednesday and Saturday, and they're going to play exactly the way they played before. They're going to play just as well as they're capable of playing every time out. That's not realistic. You've got to let this thing go to the finish line. Anytime in sports, pick your sport. The stories, the teams we talk about, the ones we remember, they're the ones that come out of nowhere at the end. I know right now in college basketball we've got a chalky tournament. But generally speaking, the teams that really become, storied over the years, they're the teams that have something happen midway, 2/3 of the way through the season, something clicks, and away they go. For Arkansas, in my mind, it was what happened at Lexington and then what happened at Texas. There were no guarantees after that, but that got them back into the hunt. And that's what I'll remember. I will also remember just the buildup to the Calipari-Patino game when Arkansas played St. John's in Providence. You think about it, our programs, and by programs I mean basketball, football, baseball, whatever, there have not been that many games over the past several years where the national spotlight has been on us. Now, I know Patino and Calipari had a lot, they were the reason for the attention. It was less about Arkansas and St. John's and more about Cal and Patino, and I get that. But he's our coach. He's our coach. And so when you talk about him, you talk about the Razorbacks, you talk about Arkansas, you talk about every single one of us. And one of the common denominators among fan bases is we love it when the national guys say good things about us. Every fan base out there is convinced ESPN hates them. I mean, every fan base out there thinks ESPN hates them. We're not alone. Every team, every fan out there thinks the announcers for their games are terrible. They're biased. They're for the other team. They hate us. Every fan base thinks that. We're not alone. And so, Bart, when you have national guys say good things about you, that gives you the warm fuzzy. And that's what we had going into that St. John's game.
That's right, which kind of is in contrast to the way it was for most of the year, where a lot of national media members were dancing on Cal's grave, right? They were proclaiming him a has-been and done, and this was a terrible hire by Arkansas. It's not going to work out. Well, this is just a reminder to everybody, you've got to let the story of the season play all the way out, because it ended up being a pretty good year one for Arkansas. Now, it didn't go how you expected it to go. They didn't get to the Sweet 16 the way you expected them to, but they got there. And it was a successful season starting from scratch. And it's nice as a Razorback fan to be able to point and laugh at some of those guys who were taking shots at Cal and taking shots at your program throughout the course of the season. That's a nice feeling. That's a nice way to end the year.
877-377-6963. Back with more in a moment. This is the Chuck and Bo Show.
I think you should look at yourself today in the mirror and say, what's wrong with me?
Okay, I will.
I'm not talking about you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
If you're having issues with your gutters or drainage around the house, you need to call Hog Trough Gutters. They're locally owned and operated with over 30 years of experience. Seamless gutters made on site, trenching and French drains. Plus, they're fully licensed and insured, and every job comes with a 20-year guarantee. Hog Trough Gutters services all of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Log on to their website, hoggutters.com, to find out more. That's hog, Gutters.com.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but at Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric, we're here to help lighten the load. This new year, enjoy no payments and no interest on all home repairs and replacements. Whether it's fixing that stubborn plumbing issue, replacing an aging heating and air system, or upgrading your electrical, our Paschal pros are here to keep your home running smoothly and stress-free. Visit GoPaschal.com today to schedule your service. Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric. Professional people, professional service. See dealer for details with approved credit. Restrictions apply.
I'm Dr. Scotty Bolding, a native Arkansan oral and maxillofacial surgeon. One of my goals is to make Arkansans healthier. If you have sleep disorder breathing, it's important to treat it properly. The standard treatment's a breathing machine called CPAP. It helps you breathe during the night. However, there are other options thanks to some truly innovative and proven technologies. Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today. By correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus. Dr. Bolding at Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine works carefully with your sleep physician, determines where the underlying obstruction may be, and provides surgical solutions that open the airway, allowing you to breathe better. Hey, give us a call, 479-755-3000, or log on to our website, precedent.com, PRECIDENT. We'd love to help.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
You know, I want Texas to lose. Yeah, I want them to rot in hell.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
At Mosquito Joe, we're constantly looking for ways to make your outdoor experience better. That's why we always use the latest technology.
Technology? To get rid of bugs?
Well, most mosquito treatments only eliminate mosquitoes that are around when it's applied. But did you know, at Mosquito Joe, we use products that are microencapsulated, so they continue to work for weeks after our technician leaves your property.
Now that's pretty cool.
Yeah, at Mosquito Joe, we love making outside fun again. Advanced products, top quality service, and all done with a satisfaction guarantee.
Visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
Save up to $5,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover, for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
Hey, Ty Richardson here at First Financial Mortgage. My mortgage lender, Ethan Adamson. Ethan, congratulations. Over 300 5-star reviews.
Yeah, Ty, we pride ourselves on delivering a 5-star service during the entire mortgage process.
What sets you apart from everyone else?
I think communication, how quickly we work, we get you closed on time or early. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5, ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Well, it was one of the great non-marriage times of my life, I'll tell you that. To meet Chuck Berry, the only thing that's even close to is meeting Bo.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Bo's going to be back tomorrow, or so we've been led to believe. He is recuperating after that West Coast jet lag. You hear Bo talking a lot about sweating them cosmetics. I'm going to be honest with you. When Bo first brought this up to me, I'm thinking, well, isn't that a place where like women go to try to look better? I mean, that's basically what I thought it was. I'm not going to lie. What I found out was there is a lot more to it than that, and there's a lot of things that men can benefit from too. if you're tired and lethargic, if you're making good food choices, but you can't lose weight, that happens from time to time. Happens a lot, quite honestly, when you get to a certain age. There could be a number of things causing it. Low T is a real thing among many adult males, not just the old guys. I've heard about low T ads, weight loss shots, all that stuff over the years. And then I went to the Swetnam Cosmetic Center with Bo. Bo and I have both been there. We're both better for it. You will be too. Dr. Jeff Swetnam and his team, Swetnam Cosmetic and Surgery Center, and we'd certainly recommend them as well. Chuck and Bo Show hits the road a little bit later this week. We've actually been having, as you can imagine, high-level planning sessions within the studio today during the commercial breaks about how we're going to handle all this. We're going to be at Oaklawn on Friday. The show is going to be live from the, what's the name of the sports bar?
Mainline.
Mainline. The Mainline Sports Bar is going to be the site of the show, and we're going to be there from 6 to 9 on Friday. And then my plan is to win a fortune on Friday afternoon at the races.
Is that the plan, huh?
And disappear forever. I mean, my plan is for the show Friday at Oaklawn to be my last show, to be my last day of work.
Chuck. That's crazy.
It's going to be Bo and Bart by the time we get to next week, because
Just like old times.
It's going to be just like old times. And but I'm going to win a fortune. If not at the track, in the casino.
Just remember us
One of
little
the two.
people when,
One of the
when
two.
you make your winnings, you know.
I know that's going to happen. But we are looking forward to that. And I know they're going to have a big weekend down there, Final Four. Had the Arkansas Derby this past weekend. Bart had the winner.
I did.
You picked Sandman, and you hit the superfecta.
I did, yeah.
On the Arkansas Derby. How many people do that?
Well, I don't know, but I'm happy to be one of them.
Now, I'm not going to delve into your personal business.
Sure.
Well, I mean, I am a little bit.
Well.
Was this a 3-figure win? Was it a 4-figure win?
Sure.
Was it
Bart
a
doesn't disclose
double-digit
his
win?
winnings.
Yeah.
Are you a
He's very
big bettor?
private.
You a small bettor?
I spread some things around.
You spread? Well, that doesn't mean anything.
It was a nice win, Chuck.
Well,
it was a
good.
nice win.
I'm gonna be going by your picks on Friday and Saturday. Of course, you know, who knows. How's your bracket doing?
Man, I've got my champion standing.
My wife is beating him right now.
Is that right?
In the beat Bart bracket
I didn't
group.
need to hear
Really?
that today, but-
Hannah's winning.
Wow, big. Is it insurmountable?
I don't remember. No, not insurmountable.
Bart can still come
But they
back
have the
if
same
Florida wins
champion,
it all.
so
Oh, really?
she's probably going to beat him.
Wow, that's
A perfect Final Four for her.
Oh, she went all chalk.
All
I
chalk.
was going to
That's
say,
really-
step out on a limb there. All right, we're done for the day. Bo's going to be back tomorrow. Hope everybody has a great day, good week. Going to be a little bit cooler, going to get wet later in the week, and we're back tomorrow. We care a lot about supporting Arkansas businesses here on the Chuck and Bo Show, and we both like keeping our rides looking good. Splash Car Wash just became our new neighbors here in Fayetteville. They're a locally owned Arkansas business